Nice. It
I
should enough, right?
just put a letter there. I just want to make sure everyone knows which corner of the world is there for the time being.
Yeah.
I'm trying, but it's not letting me. I have the tool selected, and
Which tool are you using?
the pencil one.
Okay. Look at the top right of your screen. There, right underneath where it shows everyone that's in, there's a color wheel.
Yeah.
Just to the top left of that color wheel, there should be two squares. One is a white, one is another color. Which one is the upper left square of those two?
Blue.
Okay, that's weird then. I don't know.
Is it because I accidentally selected the square?
Do you have a layer? Do you have a layer?
Yes.
Actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I don't. This is my first time using this tool, so I have no idea what's going on.
We're all
I'm gonna
new
leave
here.
and come back.
You're good. Alright. Alright. So, God damn it. Please don't.
What's that?
Did you just import an image?
Alright. No worries. We got technical problems. Again, if you guys would prefer to do the drawing on Roll20, I know the drawing tools exist on Roll20. It won't be nearly as fancy, but I'm pretty sure y'all know how to doodle in that program.
Yeah, Garfi just got it, so let's go.
Alright, Gothy, oh, there you go. Wonderful. AN. Cool. Alrighty. So everybody has their own little corner of the world. So for the time being, for the first few rounds of this game, you are going to be only confined to drawing in your little quadrant of the world. Once the world opens up and once everyone starts exploring, I will remove all of the red barriers, and then you can basically draw wherever you want on the map.
Yeah.
Alright, so arrow 1 is creation. So this is creating the world. And I will go in the order of Discord, which is I will give Tarek the first roll. So roll me a 6-sided die, and we will be telling you what you got in your corner.
Yep, I have the PDF, and I roll a 3, so I have 1 large and 2 small islands.
Yeah, cool. So in your corner, you can get rid of the T now if you'd like. Basically, you can draw yourself a large island and 2 smaller islands. These can have any shape you wish.
And
you can even have them touching the border. They just can't go outside the border.
Oh, you rolled in Discord, okay.
Yep, I am going to have a little fun with this.
And Gothy, do you also have the PDF in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Cool, so roll me a d6.
Alright.
Don't worry too much about scale, just make it rough. That's the main thing that matters. Alright, Gothy got a 5. And a 5 is 3 medium-sized islands. So so basically in your corner of the room, or your corner of the map, you can draw 3 medium-sized islands. These can be in any shape or any orientation you desire. Fred, you want to roll me a d6?
Alright. Just give me a second.
Alright, Fred,
Yeah, sorry, my connection's kind of really bad today.
No worries. If you'd like to give up your seat at the world building table over to Caius, you can.
Yeah, he can go if he wants.
Alright, cool. Caius, you want to take over Fred's corner of the world? You with us, Caius?
Yeah, sorry, I always forget to put my mic down when I'm on my headset. Yeah, I said let's build our corner of the world together.
Cool. Alright, so you are top right with Fred. Roll me a d6 and we'll tell you what your corner of the world looks like. Do you have the PDF that I sent to everybody?
Yes, I do.
Cool. So roll me a d6 and that will tell you what your corner of the world looks like.
It's Exclamation roll, not slash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sadly, we're using a different robot. Number 6.
My
6
bad.
is you have 4 small islands.
All right, Fred. I got 2. You got 2.
Yeah, so feel free to draw them in the Fred corner. After Fred is me, I suppose. So I'm not used to playing games with you guys. 3. I get a large and 2 small islands.
Alrighty, I think I done.
Yeah, Houston, you want to roll me a d6?
Sure.
Houston got a 1 gigantic continent.
Nice. Lots of space to work.
And Raza, roll me a d6.
4.
Raza gets 2 medium-sized islands.
Medium-sized islands. Right.
Indeed.
Does the color matter at all?
Don't worry about coloring them in at all. Just draw whatever you think looks awesome.
I think I'm good. And let's see what else everyone else got real fast.
Where is?
Looks like everyone's getting some interesting stuff so far.
Ooh, that's the wrong tool.
Yeah, the brush is a lot easier for getting the general shape.
Mm-hmm.
It's just.
Islands are blobby. You can worry too much about what it looks like later.
Yeah, I'm gonna shrink down my pixel size of my brush and pencil whenever I'm working on.
Actually, I can go to white and then. What's white? There's white.
This is the weirdest world map I've ever looked at in my life.
We'll worry about it.
It's a bunch of islands.
Well, right now
It'll
it's a bunch of islands.
Yeah, but it'll be adjusted once we have it all undone, and we can rearrange the stuff later.
How do you erase stuff like with the eraser?
You click the eraser.
Well, and you can shrink the pixel size on the right side of your screen.
Yeah, I found that, but how do you actually white out stuff?
You just left click it, and then you just hold the left click while you're doing it.
What? No, it doesn't work. What?
It should be the same way as while you're drawing.
You use left click to draw, right? You don't hold left click.
Press E. That creates an eraser.
Oh, if you press E?
Yeah, press
Oh.
E.
You can
There's
also-
your eraser.
Oh, there
Yeah,
we go. Oh, this is good.
And B is your brush.
Whereas pencil
No.
would be
Pencil. I'm using the pencil actually.
a pencil is N, a B is for brush, and E is for eraser.
I just drew the same thing. Okay, whatever.
Alright, so you don't need to make something fancy, but once you've got a
Those.
rough idea, I'm sorry I drew in the border there, my bad. But you can see, like, on my side, you can have your islands, like, completely touching the border if you so desire. They just can't go over them.
I kind of like how mine are.
I got some inland harbors and got, like, a Bosphorus Strait sort of thing going on.
Mine is simple, so I can add stuff. Simple stuff to it.
Yeah, again, we will be adding stuff. This is just general landmass, and so when everyone's done drawing their landmasses, let me know.
Usually is just a guy smiling.
Oh yeah, it does kind of look like that.
If you want inland seas, we'll be drawing inland seas. Don't worry.
I'm hoping I roll up some lakes and rivers.
All right. Well, let me know when everybody's drawing their rough map.
All right.
I think
I'm
me and
done.
Fred are good.
That's good.
Everybody's good?
Yeah. I think
Cool.
so. Right?
All right. Next thing we do is geography. So again, we'll start with Caius and Fred. Caius, roll me 2d6.
I'm gonna prep my 2d6.
can we each roll 1d6?
Oh no, you'll be doing this 8 times. So you can both roll it 4 times.
Oh, okay, cool. So
This tells you what geographic features you have on your islands. Alright, so if you want, just repeat your roll a whole bunch of times, and I'll tell you what you... Or do you want me to tell you the features one at a time?
Might as well do it all
Cool,
at one
alright,
shot.
so just roll me 3D... Roll me... what's it called? 2d6 a few more times. Alright, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4... Alright, so Caius, you got a... jungle... You got a wetlands. You got a canyon somewhere,
And
as
he has
well
a
as a
river.
river. So again, you can put them
And I can place these anywhere in my
anywhere on your map.
island, right?
It does not need to be accurate. It does not need to be fancy looking. It's just give me a rough idea where things are. And Fred, you want to roll 4 more times as well?
All right.
All right. 3 more times?
All right. Just a second.
A 2. A 3. A 9. And a 10.
All right, cool. So you got a... So you got it. Yeah, so you might want to write these down, by the way, just to keep track of them.
Second, get right. Okay.
And you can put these wherever you want, anywhere on your islands. They can be as small or as large as you want them to be.
All right.
So do you want me to give you the list again, or did you get it?
I got it. Don't worry about it.
Cool. Tarek, roll me 2d6 8 times.
8 times?
8 times.
Okay. First roll, 12.
That's a volcano.
Yep, I am grabbing out something so I can start writing this all down real fast. So let's see.
You can write it down in the Discord.
I know. I'm writing it down on an index card as it happens, just the numbers I roll. 12, then an 8. Number 3 is a 7. Number 4 is a 8 again. That's going to be interesting. Another 8. That is a lot of mountains.
You got a mountainous area.
And that is 5. Here's number 6. That is a 9, which is a desert. Makes sense.
And obviously, if you feel like you're coming up with too much geography, you don't need to roll that many times if you don't want
to. And one more. Honestly, I have 3 landmasses to cover and another volcano. No lakes and no rivers, but a lot of mountains, so this will be interesting.
Indeed, you never know what you're going to get. Gothy, you want to roll me 2d6 8 times?
Yep, hold on.
And obviously, as you're placing these landmasses, feel free to come up with names for them.
Yep, or save that for the end of the game. That's the last step that you can do. Okay. Let's go for... Let's see, 1, 2, 3 mountain ranges. Okay.
I'm doing these one at a time. Hold on. What do you get? A 7?
You got a 7. A 7 is a forest.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. That is not what I want. Mountains. And let's do some on the bottom as well. So that'll be 2 of the mountain ranges.
Alright, Gothy, you want to roll it again? You got a 5. A 5 is a lake. Can you roll a... Again, I'm sorry if I'm rushing you along. I'm just trying to get everyone else set up as well. So can you roll 2d6 a few more times?
How do I copy again so I don't have to
Press
keep
up
typing it
on
out,
the
'cause
Discord. Press up on the Discord. And that'll let you repeat
I
your
did.
last roll.
I did.
And
it
you
didn't
copy
do it.
paste that.
I'm doing that.
Well, no. Press up on the Discord. That'll let you edit your previous roll. So then you can copy
Oh.
that. You can right-click it. Go to copy. Go down to message. Control V. Paste, 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 paste. Yo, can you roll 2d6 a few more times, Gothy?
Still trying to do that.
Alright, would you like someone to roll for you?
Reply. Sure.
Alright.
Here. How many times have you rolled already? Oh,
Twice.
never mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more times.
What?
She's rolled
Oh, wait,
twice. You got
Yeah.
a 7 and a 5, which translate to a forest
Forest and a lake.
and a lake. You need to roll a few more. How many? How about this? How many more features would you like to roll for?
Okay. Why am I? Maybe I.
Are you not feeling up to do some world building, Gothy? Because I don't want to force you to world build if you're not interested.
I do, but I have a feeling my brain has other ideas.
All right, would you like to pause for the time being and just watch the rest of us go, and that might help inspire you? We don't want to overwhelm you. Yes, no, maybe? Coffee?
Yeah, still here.
Yes, no, maybe?
I guess I'll wait for a little bit. Yeah.
All right, no worries. We don't want to force you. Fred, you want to roll 2d6? Bunch of times? Fred? Oh no, wait. You already rolled, didn't you? Is Fred still there?
It wouldn't be Fred. It would be Yushin or you.
Yeah, I'm asking if Fred is still there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because you're
Sorry,
not saying anything.
Yeah, sorry, my internet connection again.
Alrighty.
What did you ask me?
I was going to ask you to roll, but I realized you already did already, so I was making sure you were still alive.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Alrighty. Yusjin, you want to roll some dice?
Yay! Let's see.
Do another mountain.
8 times, right?
8, or as many times as you want to roll.
We'll do that. That sounds like a good amount.
Alright, you have a desert, you have some hills, you have a savanna, you have a lake, and you have a river. Definitely a very African-inspired savanna.
Interesting.
And Raza, your go.
This is the amount I'm going to go with. Give me
Alright,
7.
you have 3 rivers. No, you have you have 4 rivers. You have some hills, you have a jungle, and a savanna.
Jungle, savannah. Right. Hey, 4. I rolled 8 times actually.
You rolled 3, 4, 5. Well, you rolled 7 times, but you said you only wanted 7. You can roll
Yeah,
again
but
if you'd like.
I mean, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Actually, I'm rolling again.
Okay. You
What
might
do I
get more.
get as
You
a
might.
master?
7. You have a forest.
Oh, alright.
Again, this can
I'm
be as
gonna have a.
big or as small as you want it to be.
And how do exactly do I indicate them? I'm
However
gonna look
you
at.
you can write however you want to. I have a forest. I have mountains. I have a savanna. I have wetlands. I have a canyon. I have hills. And I have more mountains. Alright.
How do you move the map around?
You
Space.
use your mouse.
What?
Exactly.
I did not understand.
We have.
Oh, there we go. I can target my zoom in on my own stuff because I need to be accurate, kind of.
Mm-hmm. You draw text on the map or no?
I
So.
think on this. I think you physically have to write it on this one.
Oh, there's no text editor?
Not that I'm seeing. I see. Yeah, I have no names for any of my stuff yet, though.
No worries.
However, I have three mountain ranges, 2 of which surround a desert. One mountain range has a volcano in it. The desert has a volcano in the middle of it. Then I have a savanna and the forest. Wait, was I missing something else? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, that's everything. That's all 8.
Wait for the rest of us to finish drawing.
I know, I was just double checking I had everything. And I am going to zoom out so that I can watch everyone else draw.
Mm-hmm. So again, your mountain range can be as big or as small as you'd like it to be.
A jungle. Ooh. Jungle and savannah. Okay, that goes together, I guess. Yeah.
Alrighty.
And also, you can start to kind of think about what you want to name everything. So, for instance, I have 2 mountain ranges, and I was thinking the one to the south is called the Low Pass, and the one to the higher pine is called the East Pass.
I've named both my islands. It's Horseshoe Isle and Circular Tear Isle.
There you go.
And then I have the Carotid River, the Wetlands, and the Follicular Fari.
I think I'm going to name the mountain range that has a volcano as part of it, like the Smoky Mountains, something like that.
Feel free to write down some notes or ideas.
As for the desert, is going to be an interesting one because it's surrounded on both sides by mountain ranges that kind of look like teeth on the map, and has a volcano in the dead center of it. That's gonna be interesting.
So we got a forest. I got my mountains. I got my
Jaws of the
savanna.
world.
I got
Yeah,
my
savanna.
wetlands.
Ew.
Need me
No
hills.
Hmm.
I think I'm
No
gonna
idea.
go for some fairly small hills. To do.
Excuse me.
Just kind of gets hillier the further you go that way. And I got a canyon. I don't know where to put that. I'll just say this thing right here is the canyon. And call it the mouth.
How do you add names to it?
I don't know. Just this game's about being creativity.
Okay.
I literally just opened up Notepad and just started writing down.
Yeah,
notes.
I'm doing the exact same thing. And let me know once everybody's got a cool idea, got some cool ideas down.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait on naming some of mine for later, just to be safe, in case I come up with better names as we go.
I have Canyon Creek.
Canyon Creep.
Although you did give me an idea, Caius, because of the whole mouth of the world thing. Maybe the whole desert is like a giant basin-shaped island. That could be interesting.
Like kind of like a saucer, like a bowl kind of thing.
Yeah, basically, like the whole desert is like partly underwater,
Below sea level.
except whereas the mountains are what keep all the water out, and the other sides are literal cliffs.
That's super cool.
Yeah, you do not need to pay. You do not need to pay too much attention to geography here. It's more of a draw whatever looks cool.
I know. I'm just saying that it was an idea that he gave me because who knows? Maybe I'll play it like that when I'm considering everything else. We could call it the mouth of the world, as he said, because that's what he suggested. It is kind of like that.
Shit, I ended up with 5 rivers. Well, that's too bad.
As
Honestly,
long as you're going to the spirit of things.
They're all the same river. They just branch off.
There you go. And how do you move them? How do you unselect the select drawing thing? Move. No, that's move my drawing. I don't want to move my drawing. How do I select? Is that how you deselect? How do I just go back to resetting the view? View, reset.
You can zoom in and out.
View. I'm just trying to get the drawing centered again. There we go, close enough. Alright, let me know when everybody's done putting in their basic geography.
Oh. What is a 7 again on the table? Let me look.
A 7 is a forest. So you got
forest,
trees somewhere.
Yeah, I have like space left. I was like, wait, I got something else.
Well, you still got to put like settlements and stuff. We're just working on geography right now.
Oh yeah, true.
And keep in mind, anything that isn't already put in is what's it called? It is just grassland. So if something's flat, that's okay. You're allowed to have flat terrain. That's where people grow food.
True, but I'm gonna add a forest.
All right. Also, where's the paint bucket tool?
It is just above the.
Sorry.
So it's right under the eraser on the left side.
Ah, I found it. All right. Cool. All right.
All right, I'm ready.
Also, which is really useful.
All right, then I want a D. Ooh. Oh, whoopsie! Didn't mean to do that. Whoopsies. Ignore that. Boop.
In our world, our water is green.
I mean, if you want the water to be green.
Very exotic.
Hey man, it's
Completely
fantasy. It can
unbelievable.
look like whatever you want it to look like.
My island is made up of all the pollution from the ocean that we cleared up.
Seems
Yeah.
legit. I want like a dark green for the... There we go. Alright, well let me know when everyone's done with geography and we can move on to the next stage.
Yeah, I'm done. You have like nothing left over there.
Who,
By the
me?
way. Yeah. like
I,
everything's almost filled up. I mean,
not necessarily.
I like how I got so far. It's pretty nice.
I like the volcano. It's like just a volcano island.
Alright. Shall we move on to the next stage? Everybody good?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Hold on. Sorry. Don't know.
No worries. Let me know when you're done, Tarek.
No. I accidentally drew in Eugen's area while looking at everyone's stuff. Sorry. That's why I said, oh no, sorry.
Alright, so
So,
we good
I'm
then? Or...
yes, we're good. I just, like I said, it was an accidental thing that I was just correcting real fast.
Alright, cool. Next one we're gonna...
Okay, I think I got it. All right.
Alright, you want to put in some geographic features, Gothy?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So roll me 2d6 and do that as many times as you want. The book recommends 8, but it's up to you. Alright, so that is a mountain. You got a mountain range. You got a desert. You got a canyon somewhere.
Those are all fitting together.
Mm-hmm. And another mountain range.
Four.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. Or
Alright, so feel free to start filling in those geographic features. It doesn't need to look fancy. It just needs to... Again, it just needs to look roughly like what we're going for, and we'll fill in all the details later. I got a notepad up with just ideas.
Yeah, I think I'm going to open Google Docs just so I can start marking down some general ideas.
Alright. Alright, so shall we move on to shall we move on to the next age? Alright, so this one we will be doing one at a time, which is starting with Caius and Fred. You guys, we will be taking turns for this, so we'll wait for you guys to finish first. But take turns placing 3 different resources into your home region. So these resources can be anything you could possibly think of. So this could be things like ore, like iron or adamantine deposits. This could be literal resources like Age of Empires, like perhaps there's gold in that there hills. Or this could be something completely different, like maybe there's a type of fish that if you eat it, it is incredibly tasty. So this is
Like most
complete.
fish.
Can I choose like scrap?
Can you choose like what?
Scrap. Because remember how I said that my islands are made up of all the garbage from the.
Well, is scrap a resource?
Sometimes people need scrap.
All right. Is it a special type of scrap? Like, is this like maybe you have iron literally growing out of the ground?
Fair enough, I can do that.
And this
You
is up.
wanted the
It's
garbage.
entirely up to you. Your job. This is valuable resources that your people would either want or maybe want to trade. There's
Okay,
a few examples in the book. So, like, maybe they are fiery mushrooms or crystals that, what's it called, heal people. Or glowing ants.
A naturally regrowing vein of iron.
Bang! There's an idea. Fred, any
So
idea?
We can only choose 3 resources.
Yeah, so between the two of you, come up with 3. And you can also
So
decide
3
where you want to
total.
put it, and you can put a
So
symbol
3 in
down.
All right. I got
Alright,
crystals.
Fred, pick a number between 1 and 10.
All right. 5.
Okay, that's close enough. You can pick 2. I'll pick 1.
All right.
Alright, so you got your naturally regrowing iron. What else you got on them there islands?
Crystals that make you see the bigger picture, like enlightening crystals.
Alright, so like different crystals that let you like see the future, or they just make you wise?
Kind of both. Like 50-50.
Alright. Where, and you have another resource you want to write down?
And
Again, this could be simple as like maybe the trees in your island are really great for making ships.
I was guessing trees.
Or maybe the sap from this frog is what makes time travel possible.
All right. Just like really nice trees. It's like, it can be used for anything, any material you can ever think of.
What are those really, really big trees that grow in Japan?
I was about to say redwood,
like the
but
ones that are. Yeah, I think that's what they're called. They're like the size of houses.
I actually got maybe some of those.
Yeah, probably.
All right, Tarek, you got any idea? And so again, so on your islands, just make a symbol or mark down where that resource is found, and this will basically help you. This will basically be used for future events, for like deciding where your settlements might go or events that take place in the world. Tarek, you got any ideas for resources down there?
I have a general idea of one idea so far. Because I was thinking, oh, maybe what would be near a volcano in the middle of a desert? Maybe there's like a huge underground deposit of like extremely rare diamonds, like just very, very rare diamonds, like the kind that would be amazing for spell components and such. So
like
I'm just gonna
like magical diamonds that like augment spellcasting.
Yeah, kinda.
All right, Mark. Any other ideas for some resources?
I'm
Again, I
trying
don't
to.
want to put you on the spot here.
I know. I was trying to think of this while they were having their turn. Let's see. I was thinking maybe something to do with the forest. Let's see. What would a forest have? Maybe the trees are extremely sturdy, unnaturally so, almost to the point of being like metal, but without actually being like that.
So you
So
got
like
darkwood trees.
I was thinking like almost as hard as adamantine. So like just call it the adamantine forest because the trees are like adamantine.
Mm-hmm.
Could be interesting. So I'm gonna put a little dark mark over here, just a little letter A for the adamantine, and then I think for the savannah. I honestly can't think of anything. Any suggestions, anyone? I'm thinking some kind of animal. Probably some kind of easily cattled up animal.
Maybe you could do something like caterpillars that grant if you want to keep going with the magical thing, maybe like caterpillars that work as like pearls of power.
Oh,
How about pearls from oysters?
Yeah, like you can absolutely put stuff in the ocean.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I think actually, what about like hawks that create static in their feathers when they fly, and attacking things will quite literally zap you.
There you go. You got electric hawks.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a little lightning bolt down there.
If I can interrupt, I have a small question. How do you import images?
You don't.
Oh. Okay. That sucks.
Do you have any ideas for resources, Raza?
Oh yeah. I did have. I was gonna put chocolate in the jungle.
Alright, so you got like coca trees or like literally
Yeah,
chocolate
cocoa
bars?
trees
Alright, there's an idea.
to make chocolate bars. I was gonna go with rhyhorn. No, not rhyhorns. Rhinoceroses in the savannah, where their horns are magical. I guess.
We got
Yeah,
magical ivory.
Yeah, magical ivory, and I need one more. I need inspiration. All right.
If you only want 2 resources, you can only have 2 resources.
We're going with what was I gonna do? Shit, I forgot. Um, let's go with. God damn, this is harder. I need something for the other island. Need something to do with a hill. Let's go with gold. Let's just go with gold.
You got
Gold in the hills.
You got gold in them hills.
Yes, and in the river where there are people panning out. Let's go. That's what I'm gonna do.
Alright. For my resources, I've been doing a bit of thinking. And I was going to go with gold, but Rasa just beat me to the punch right there. So I'm going to say I'm going to do something traditional and 2 that are weird. We got some adamantine up in our mountains up here. It is very difficult to extract, but oh boy, does it make some utterly unbreakable weapons and armor. The second thing we have is, well, we got this savannah out here, and it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. And people always wonder why our savannah is here. And the answer is that it's actually supposed to be part of the forest. The problem is that while you're inside the savannah, nothing grows. And the reason for that is because nothing dies either.
Oh shit.
It's not quite frozen time. Like, if you bring a dead body inside, it won't instantly revive. But if you die out in the field of proving, then you come back to life the next day. And of course, down by the canyon, we got some very interesting rocks. Rocks which don't quite form to the forms of physics, and well, they float upward, and it's what makes our flying islands possible.
Oh, flying islands.
Yeah, be creative. That's the whole point of this. Houston, you got any ideas?
Few. Right in the center about here. How about, let's see, what's a good color for this? Right in the center of the lake, there's a pool of water that, if you drink it, it supercharges all, like, caster stuff.
So you got like mana. You got mana water, basically.
Yes. Perfect. Probably trees around here. Nice and simple there.
So again, feel free to just mark it down with some basic tools and whatnot. Did I skip anybody?
Is On ready to do any or no?
And you wanna keep working on geography, or?
Hold on. I'm still partially. I'm
Yeah,
almost done though.
No rush.
I just thought we'd check on you.
How about, from these savannah trees, exploding acorns drop.
There you go.
That's gonna be nasty.
For you guys, hopefully.
Honestly, that's kind of why I went with the whole trees as hard as adamantine. All I could think was druids don't. All I could think is like, oh, people that don't really get access to metal, maybe they use those trees as armor if they can cut them down. That was my idea behind the adamantine forest.
Okay, I guess I'm done with the geography building. And then who was it? You stole my idea. So I was gonna make a lake, do magical things.
Hey man, there's allowed to be more than one. What's it called? Magical lake.
I agree.
Right.
Maybe
back to
yours works
ususal
on divine
cooking.
magic, or maybe yours is what gives people psychic powers.
I just decided that that iron vein that's going through Canyon Creek is pushing all the garbage back into the ocean.
It's
Ew.
towards Anne's areas.
What?
Just a joke. Don't worry.
Do you have any ideas for cool rare resources?
No.
Do you want to think up? Do you want some time to think up some?
That money symbol
Yeah.
is scuffed as fuck. Holy shit.
All right, so you can have some time to think about it while me and everyone else moves on to the next step.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, cool. Now it is time to decide what everyone's major faction is. So, Caius and Fred, roll me a 2d6. We'll find out what the major faction living in your area is.
Okay. And these are all split into different groups, so you could take one from the group. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. 7. Okay, one or the other. Humans and elves. So I think you guys got a bunch of half elves in your empire.
Uh,
Oh shoot!
I could
I'll be
see
right
that
back.
being
Gotta
fitting.
feed
Oh.
my
So, like,
dogs.
that's like the main demographic of our
they
population.
got 6 and 7, which would be dwarves and humans,
Oh, you got 6 and 7. Oh yeah. So pick one. Do you want dwarves or do you want humans?
or half dwarves.
Or half dwarves?
Or half elves? Wait, no,
I
half
want,
humans.
I
I
want
vote.
humans.
You guys want to be humans?
I
But
was
it's
gonna.
fine, but
I was gonna say dwarf, so I guess we're gonna go half dwarf, half
You,
human.
you guys got an empire of half dwarves. Tarek,
Nice.
you want to roll me 2d6?
Okay, I got fingers crossed. 6. That is dwarves
You
again.
got some dwarves.
Let's see. I think I'm gonna focus in Durgar for dwarves.
Yeah,
So
and of
dark
course, basically pick a spot on your island that'll be like your capital city for the empire we're building. Come up with a name for it, and feel free to come up with a flag.
Yeah, no, getting dwarves. I already know exactly where I'm going. So I'm just gonna get a little circle tool.
And
And
for myself, again, I'm not used to actually playing games with you guys. I'm more used to reffing them, but I got 7, so I got an empire of humans as well.
We've got humans, dwarves, and half dwarves. So
I think I understand how this world works.
yeah, I have a
Yusjin,
lot.
you want to roll me 2d6?
gotta be something like giant
Yusjin?
or something. I hope I get giants.
Yusjin got elves.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a dark dwarf, so the underground.
And the last major race of our world, Raza.
A
Right.
free.
Got
What's
a
a
3,
free?
which
We
sea
got-
folk.
No, yeah,
Sea
sea folk. So merfolk, treants, crab folk. You're an underwater race.
Shit. What?
Which
That's dope.
This makes things a lot interesting.
he actually has a lot.
What am I gonna do? I did not expect this shit. I was expecting a land race.
Well, that's
The
what makes the
world of
game
One
fun.
Piece.
You also have a lot
I,
of Raza, so you could possibly expand those rivers if you wanted.
Yeah, you got a lot of rivers. And
you know,
again,
I could,
merfolk don't necessarily need to be like, maybe you're amphibious.
Mm-hmm.
And considering you drew your islands out of blue, it's kind of fitting.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I am.
I mean,
Uh,
how do merfolk have a capital?
Maybe you're like lizard people. Maybe you're amphibious.
Raza, have you ever heard of the show One Piece?
Yes, I've heard of it. I have not watched it.
They have an underwater community that literally lives in a bubble like 10,000 feet under the surface of the water.
Oh.
Yes, but I don't really have a lake.
You just make frog people, essentially.
I'm going with crab people. And we're gonna be
Crab people,
crabs.
perfect.
I mean, yeah, just fucking crabs. Fuck it.
Alright.
So, how do I decide the capital?
We will call these Durgar the Forgeborn clan.
Right. Exactly like that, guys. Yes.
Yep. And they live under the volcanic mountain range. Not the race I was expecting, but
The crab people live on the shoals of the rivers.
Mm-hmm.
And they enjoy chocolate, apparently.
alrighty. So I need to write down that I have the Forgeborn clan living on the Smoky Island. The Forgeborn clan, which is a Durgar clan. So this will be interesting.
Oh. We are the Red Flag. So named for our red flag. And our capital city is Port Markham. We are a seafaring folk.
Sounds about right.
Oh, I can be like a hive. Oh, I can be a hive of crabs.
Absolutely.
Like this island is infested with crabs. Well, crab people, but still.
Alrighty. So I have my major faction marked down. They are the Forgeborn Durgar. This will be interesting. So we have the Kite clan of humans. We have the Forgeborn Durgar. We have the Crab people. We have half dwarves over in the kingdom.
I do have to ask, is this like a Zoidberg crab people, or is this like legit crab people?
What is legit crab people?
Have you seen the South Park episode?
No.
Okay, cool. Never mind then.
Yeah, he put a gif of it.
I have not seen
Whoa,
them now.
whoopsie. Sorry about that.
Actually, I think there's a race in 5e that's from the Monster Manual that is very much like that. Maybe
We'll
it's
worry
Monster
about stats and stuff later. Right now,
no.
it is.
I'm just saying, I think there's a race that would be a good, at least in artwork style.
All right. Does everybody have their capital city set?
No.
No.
All right.
I have mine.
I think I missed that part, but I got it.
Yeah, I think I blanked out during that.
Yeah.
Actually, I name my capital city. I don't know what I'm gonna name it. It's let's see. They literally built their city into a volcanic mountain range. They are the Forgeborn clan, so
Or Zamar, obviously.
Fred, do you want to share a capital, or can we each have our?
Well, it's one empire, though you might have revolts later.
the Obsidian Fortress. That's what
Fred, in a PM, I'm gonna send you what I've written down for my two islands.
All right.
Can't we hear it?
Yeah, actually, that makes more sense.
It does make more sense.
Okay, sorry. Whew, I gave myself a heart attack there. I deleted everything.
Oh no.
Okay, so Horseshoe Isle is obviously the one that looks like a horseshoe. Created from all the pollution gathered from the oceans hundreds of years ago. Since then, a naturally regrowing vein of iron has been seen making its home among all the garbage. Canyon Creek, which is the canyon that's going through Horseshoe. The canyon created by the growing veins of iron is beginning to push the collected refuse back into the ocean. And my second island, it's called Circulator Isle. home of the half-dwarves that settled here when the world came together to clear the waters. Being among the races of the world, the sturdy dwarves laid down their pride and mixed blood with the locals. After the horseshoe vein began pressing refuse back into the water, they decided to settle here to maintain the leak. That's what I got so far.
Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was gonna put my capital in where my jungle forest thing is.
Makes sense.
There you go. Really, to be honest, I have really have nothing for my 2 islands. I'm just like
Well,
doing it
it's
as I
the
go.
same. It's the same empire on all 4 islands.
So I have a suggestion. We could say my islands are more concerned about keeping the water clean, and then maybe your islands are be like, oh, it's okay, and then we end up having like a civil war or some crap.
Well, one of the things you can roll on later things is civil war, or maybe you already started in civil war. If you want to have 2 smaller empires instead of 1 big empire.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, I'm done with that too.
Cool. All right, you guys had a civil war. So now we got 2. Now we got 2 empires over there.
It's almost like there's 7
You
people
can
here.
in fact you can in fact roll civil war again, so it might split your faction up even more.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of
or maybe we come to an agreement.
Yeah.
That is also something you can roll. All right, has everyone placed their capital city?
Yes.
Yep.
Cool,
I got
awesome.
the city and fortress and found the crab race. They're called Chul.
All right,
There's
wonderful. Now we move on to Era 2, which is pantheons. So what are the gods of your world? So Caius and Fred, you guys, what's it called? One of you guys roll me d6, and that's the amount of deities in your collective 2 empires.
But is it not just one deity?
There is 1 deity.
Oh.
And he is, roll me a d6.
I rolled a 1.
All right, and again. There is 1 god worshipped by the half-dwarves, and he is a... Roll me a d6.
One deity that is...
He is a god of the home. So we are thinking something like a god of the garden, god of the hearth, like a Jesus type. God of love, god of family. Who is this god that all your people worship? You are a monofaith.
Dionysus.
I mean,
This is like the only god your people worship. And what is his deal? Fred, Caius?
I think we're gonna have to.
You have to think on that. Oh, do you want me to move on to the next person while you're thinking about your god?
I'm just putting my thoughts out there first. So if we do the whole Civil War thing, and we do the God of the Home, that could be like our diversion. Like, I'm more concerned about like the waters. You're more concerned about like the actual land itself.
Yeah, that could work. Yeah.
So you had a religious civil war. You have 2 different interpretations of your deity.
Yeah. Now we just need to figure out the name of the deity and the name of our people.
While you're doing that, Tarek, roll me a d6 on number of gods table. Oh boy, you got 4 gods.
And I need to roll 4 more times then.
Yeah, roll me 4d6.
Yep. Let me just roll that all at once. Let's see. I got a 6, a 5, another 6, and a 2. So I got something in
home,
something from
2 very prim deities, and a nature god.
And it is a Durgar society that literally lives under a volcano, so it makes sense.
I think your empire might be evil, Tarek.
I have no complaints.
All right, this is interesting.
Oh, no, I could make them like respectful of the grim thing. Like they aren't necessarily evil; they're just very morbid.
So like a Fesmarian type of cult?
Either Fesmarian or you could have called them like the Addams family, basically. In terms like everyone thinks they're creepy and disturbing, but they're just people.
Alright,
their
so
own
come
belief.
up with some names and symbols, and doesn't need to go fancy, just like symbol, deity, and what they represent. As for myself, I will be getting wrong. I have 2 deities. Let's roll 2d6, and I have 2 gods of the hearth. I have. Let me think about this. I have a god of family and a god. We have a god of love, and we have a god of family. We are a wholesome people. I will have to think of something like this.
You can take your time. You can move
Yep.
on to something. Yeah.
Something in. Let's see. The grim things are going to be pretty easy.
Yusjin, you want to roll for gods?
Yeah.
Alright, roll me a d6. Tell you how many gods you got.
I'm gonna. Let's see.
Almost.
Very close.
You have 1 god. Roll me a d6 and I'll tell you what he's about. You are a druid cult.
That seems fitting, actually.
You got a god of the sun, god of the moon, a god of animals or birth.
How about...
And feel free to think about it. Raza?
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. Roll 1d6, right?
Yeah, 1d6 for number of gods. You got a
No.
4 pantheons.
No.
And roll me
God.
4d6 for all the gods.
4 gods of crab people. This is going to be awesome.
Very religious crab people.
Yeah. Which I actually randomly rolled myself just to help myself determine some of these gods. The 2 grim deities and the home deity are all females. The nature deity is the only guy.
Hey man, why your gods have to be sexuality?
It would just give me a good basis
You have
for, like...
you have a grim deity, you have a geographic deity, you have a home deity, and another home deity.
I need to look at what these actually are.
Domain of death for 1 grim deity.
Can you repeat that?
So you have 1 deity of something grim, so like a god of death, a god of the nightmare, cannibalism, underworld, something like that.
Yeah.
You have another deity of geography, so a deity of a mountain, a swamp, seas, rivers, deserts, volcanoes.
Yeah, right. Got that. And home.
You have a deity of the home, so either a god of like farmers or cats or family or garden, and you have another one about the home.
Oh boy. Alright, this is gonna be a lot of work. Who else got like 4 deities? Oh, Tarek did, right?
Yeah, I'm working on them right now, and I have Durgar to work with for what they are. So I have one of them. I don't know what her symbol is, but one of the grim deities is...
Are you doing symbols too? My god.
Yeah, her entire thing is she's the goddess of death, but her name is Rudaris. I'm thinking she's more like Pharasma in terms of how she is a death goddess, because like she's the one that basically takes the souls to whatever the afterlife is. It's the whole deal.
I'm definitely gonna take cannibalism because that fits.
Oh yeah, that probably fits crab people, especially if you make them look like the Chul.
Yeah, I like that picture you sent me. So yeah, we're doing that.
This will be interesting. A cannibalistic crab tribe on one of the island nations.
Yeah, the whole, well, half of the island is infested for sure. It's where the
Yeah, but-
gold is.
All right, I have an idea for like a dual pantheon. So I have one deity. He is the god of optimism and the family at sea. So he has a god of fire forged friends, chaos, impatient, running forward and punching evil in the face, and generally being like a full on like super idealist. Let's do it and it'll be glorious. And then your other deity is basically like the not evil, but like the pencil pusher deity. He's like, okay, that's cool and all, but we have to actually track how many fucking orders of beer we have. We have like logistics, preparation. Let's be serious, man. Let's try and be realistic about all these things. So you have one deity of like chaos and freedom, and you have one deity about like, let's get this shit organized.
Okay, I know what my other grim deity is. She is definitely one that is very morbid in that she's a goddess of disease, which is probably going to be running very rampant if you have literally an entire civilization living under a volcano. So they probably get very sick very easily. So could be they worship her as both a way to prevent disease and also like wish it on their worst enemies. It's gonna be an interesting way.
So not very homely. How am I gonna have two homely gods? What?
First symbol is gonna be a burning rat. I love it. Okay. You have two home-based deities?
Yeah. Can I re-roll one? I do not want to. I can't-
Maybe
I
you
mean,
can
I have no
combine.
problems.
Maybe you can combine them. Or if you'd
you
rather
could-
only have 3 deities, you can have 3
Oh, I
deities.
see.
Yeah, I kind of just want to like they worship the crab goddess, like literally the leader of the hive.
Let's see, what would... Oh. The nature deity would be the god of life. So we have life and death, disease, and family for my gods.
There you
And I
go.
just... So life and death would probably be husband and wife.
Or
Funny.
maybe another thing you could do, Raz, is maybe the second family deity existed, but now they've gone somewhat underground, and now their faith is not necessarily practiced all in the open anymore.
Oh yeah, they used to be not cannibals, but now they
So it could have been the deity of non-cannibalism.
they do not cannibals.
And or a deity of farming, and maybe you could incorporate this into some of the minor factions you can create.
It's minor factions.
We'll get to it. Let me know when everyone's done with gods. Yeah, it doesn't need to be crazy. It's like name, general dogma, and like a basic symbol.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with.
All right, Gothi, have you or Am,
Or
have you caught up with
the
geography
deity
yet?
of home, which is a...
Anne, you still there? Anne. Gothi, are you still there? I think she may have gone.
She probably fell asleep on a keyword or something.
Probably. Alright, so is everyone else giving me basic gods?
Yeah, I just need to work on the deity of family. I don't have a name or symbol for her, but I have symbols for Rudaris and Carter, the husband and wife duo of life and death now.
I think the next step is rolling symbols for deities now.
Well, you don't need to roll symbols. You can just come up with an idea.
We just need to give you the name of our deity and the name of our people.
Oh, do you have a name for your kingdom?
Yeah. So the kingdom is called Fredius.
All right.
Fredius?
Feel free to
Yes.
write that down in your notes.
Yep, we got it.
Alright.
I wasn't sure if you needed it.
No, but you can combine all the notes together, and I'll put it all up on Incarnate or whatever.
Heard the word.
All right, so shall we move on to era 3 then?
Looks like it.
All right, so the lands have been drawn, and each empire now has a starting settlement. So this era is the first 50 years of your empire's history. So everybody gets 2 settlements. So Caius, you roll me a d6.
Caius?
Sorry, it's
All right, you
Wi-Fi.
have a mining settlement. It has to be placed on the same island as your capital.
Heard the word.
So somewhere on this same settlement as your capital, there is a mining village. Give it a name, and make sure you connect it to the capital with a road with like a dotted line.
Gotcha.
And Fred?
Wait, so sorry, just Wi-Fi connections really bad. So
Roll me a
say
d6.
again. Like the D6, gotcha.
All right. So somewhere on the same island as your starting empire, there is a trade post, or like a market town. It has to be on the same island as your capital, and give it a name and connect it with a road. Makes sense, Fred, yeah?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Tarek, you can roll me twice.
Oh, yeah, give me just a second. I was actually just sharing my God information. I finished it up. Might tweak it, but let me see. I need to roll twice on...
2d6.
Yep. So 2d6. Nope, it is... Apparently I don't have it copied anymore. Slash roll 2d6. Let me copy this because...
It's exclamation mark roll.
I know. I will have a total, so 3, which is a resource town, and a 5 for a military fort.
All right, and place them somewhere on your starting island.
Yep, which is going to be the least documented, funny enough. So I will put a square for a for a military fort. I'm going to put that... I'm going to put that right here, far away, so it's like protecting their shores. Actually, no, I think I'm going to undo that one.
And Houston, you want to roll me 2d6?
Sure.
Let's make it in the middle of the island.
If he has to.
Only if you want to have settlements. So your first 2 settlements were a fort and a trade post. So put them somewhere on the same island as your capital, and make sure you have a road connecting them. And Raza, you want to roll me 2d6?
Yes.
You have a resource town and a trade post.
A trade post? Perhaps
Or like a
trade.
market town. Well, keep in mind where your resources are.
Actually, hold on. Oh, that's right. I'm going to make my resource town not in the mountains like I was originally thinking. I'm going to make it a fishing town.
How is it different markets for different stuff? How do you mark?
With as many symbols as you'd like.
Yeah, but I can't draw very well. That's the.
I've been using the square and circle tool. Just use different colors and try to remember which one's which.
Oh, that's not that bad. That's a good idea.
Let's see. Red Circle is a coastal fishing town. I'm going to name it Darkport. Just for now. I might change the name later.
I have the Temple of Immortal Warriors, and I know exactly where I'm putting it. And then my second thing is a farming village, which I'm going to interpret as a lumber village.
A resource. I guess it's a well.
Well, where are the resources on your island?
Well, I have a freaking gold deposit, so I'm
Well,
gonna.
sounds like somewhere you should put this.
Yes. I'm gonna make it yellow for reasons that might be obvious.
And then the military base. Well, military fort, which is going to be a red square on my map, is kind of just a watchtower area. Watchtower for main.
So make sure you connect it to your main base with or your main village with a small road.
Yep, that is actually what I did. The military base is actually like a guard post in the middle, on the halfway point of the road.
There you
There
go.
might be area. Let's see, watchtower for main road, and I will call it. We'll just call it midpoint. Midpoint watch. Pretty simple name. It'll probably have a more dwarven or Durgar sounding name if I come up with one. But that is what I have it so far. So we have Darkport, the Obsidian Forest, the Obsidian Fortress, and Midpoint Watch as my 3 settlements. The capital, town, and the military fort.
Alright, let me know when everyone's done placing their settlements. Or their starting settlements, rather, because these can be destroyed later on.
I am
Or-
good to go.
Like I said, it could be possible your empire falls to war and revolution.
I almost had that happen in a solo game I did as a test yesterday.
Is there a natural disaster?
We'll get to that, don't worry. So this is like the first 50 years of your settlement. They are burgeoning, and during the first 50 years they founded these 2 towns.
I'm gonna expand my forest.
I'll be right back. So if you could make me and Fred like not first.
Okay.
Just give me like 10 minutes. I gotta switch out my laundry.
Everyone done with everyone else done with their settlements?
Yep.
Yusjin, you done with settlements?
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, let us move on to the next phase, which is hostile neighbors. So everybody's got some hostile neighbors. So Tarek, roll me a d6.
Yep. I know this. I hated my hostile neighbors in my solo game. They were feral halflings, and I hated them so much.
Well, time for you to find out what you have in this map.
Alrighty, I got a.
You got a
3 for
minor
my-
faction. Cool.
Oh god, again.
So let's find out who they are.
I need
So
to
roll me 2d6 and we'll find out what kind of faction we have.
Oh god.
Your island is contested.
A 9 for orcs, goblins, or.
Alright, so what do you want? You want orcs? You want goblins?
So we go
Orcs
with
would
that.
be too typical for me. No, actually, either goblin or hobgoblin. I'm gonna roll a d6 and just randomly decide. If it's odd, it's 1. If it's even, it's the other. /r d6. We are going 1, 2. We are going regular old goblins as the enemies to the Durgar.
Alright, you got 2 settlements of goblins. You can put them anywhere in your corner of the map. They don't necessarily need to be on the same island.
I also need to roll what those settlements will be.
Yeah, so roll
2.
me 2d6.
The goblins will have a mining settlement and a resource town. That's pretty fitting.
Yep. So mark down.
Yeah, I already know where I want the little mining settlement for these goblins to be, and that'll be actually in the desert.
Remember, these are hostile neighbors to you, so your Dugar do not like these guys.
Exactly. So, which is why they are going to be taking up a mining town right by where all the fancy ass diamonds are.
Yusjin, you want to roll me hostile neighbors?
And I also have my resource town for more fishing. So, We will go with a green for this other one.
4. You got a crazy necromancer or a mad mage holed up in a tower or something similar.
I like that.
All right, so feel free to come up with a name for them and put them somewhere on your map. Raza?
All right.
2d6, right?
No, just 1d6.
Okay.
This is hostile neighbors.
I thought the table was pretty big. 1.
You got insects on your island.
Which is fitting? Crabs versus the bug.
Just
This
a
is gonna be-
whole swarm of evil insects.
And where do I need to place them? On my home region?
They don't necessarily need to be on the same island, but anywhere in the home region.
It's gonna be giant mosquitoes. There's no way.
Giant evil mosquitoes.
Yep. Do they have to be hostile?
They are hostile. Your crab people do not like these mosquitoes.
Yeah.
All right, and Fred,
I love it.
or Caius, one of you guys roll me a d6 for hostile neighbors.
Go for it, Fred.
Y'all got
Y'all got
a
demons.
demon lair. Shit.
So-
Demons?
Somewhere on your 4 islands between the two of you, decide where there's a lair of evil demons. Or imps, or tieflings, or a portal to hell, or something along those lines.
Yeah. And I have a name for my hostile goblin neighbors. The Hotfoot goblins. They are in the desert.
And if it makes you feel happier, I also got demons.
Oh god, that's a lot of demons. We got demons. We got evil little goblin bastards, and we got giant ass mosquitoes. Oh gods. What did Yushin roll earlier? He rolled. Oh, the next.
He got crazy mage.
Yeah, he got the insane mage versus his elves.
How do I indicate where they are?
Whatever symbol you want. So you
I
can.
need a mosquito symbol.
So
Actually,
I
have an
think the
idea.
reason that all these mountains exist, and the reason that no one's really gotten to this adamantine, is that somewhere inside these mountains, we got a literal portal to hell.
Sound friendly.
Like Doom-style portal to hell.
Yeah, we got the Hotfoot Gobos, and I will name their settlements. We have the mine. We have a mining town, which I will call it the. I'm gonna call their.
This is way too thick.
You know what? I'm gonna go full fucking with how I'm running these goblins as a minor faction. We're gonna call their mining town the Red Hot Gems.
There you
Red
go.
Red Hot Gems. For now, I might change it further later, but for now, I'm just going joke name.
All right, let me know when everyone's done. And does anyone want a second hostile faction?
Oh God, no.
I guess. Yeah, sure. All right, roll me a d6.
Oh God.
All right, you got a hostile tribe.
Which means you have to roll another race.
Yeah, so roll me 2d6. So this is not a civilization. This is more like uncivilized, folks. You got some uncivilized dwarves on your island.
Oh my God, so many dwarves.
Indeed, but these are caveman level dwarves, so they are not necessarily civilized. Or perhaps
These are
you've
the
enslaved
dwarves-
them.
These are the dwarves that didn't want to mix blood.
There you go.
Or did not stay underground like the Durgar mostly did. Because, hey, what should I name the resource town? We will call it Slippery Flipper Bay.
There's dolphins there.
They eat dolphin fin soup there.
No, that's so mean.
Alright. Oh, they are hostile factions. Does anybody want more hostile factions, or shall we move on?
I'm good with the mosquitoes.
Alright, cool.
Let's go for it.
So we have now completed Era 2, so we have now gone through 50 years of history so far. The Kempires have been founded, and now we are on to Age of Discovery. So everybody is going to be exploring your and your neighbor island. So again, all results can only be placed within your home region. So we're rolling 7 times. So if we're starting with Caius and Fred, one of you guys rolls 4 times, the other one rolls 3 times.
Oh boy. I'm gonna have to write down my results for whatever comes next.
So this is a. Oh no, this is a.
Three,
Yeah, this
six.
is 3d6. So
And you need
Caius,
to
roll
do-
me some 3d6.
And you need to do that 7 times total.
You got brigands. You got bandits. You got pirates, Caius. So you
Man,
got brigands. You can
our
put
team is interesting.
they have been placed. What's it called? Place a new hostile settlement on a trade route or bay, and give them a name and a banner for these pirates. And I
One point on
suppose,
my.
yeah,
Can they be like strictly only ship pirates? That they
Absolutely.
Only awesome. I know where I'm putting them.
Yeah, Fred, you roll me 3d6 as well.
Oh, sorry.
Yep, you guys need to do it a total of 7 times between the both of you, and that's so far only 1.
Actually, how about we go back and forth? It'll make more sense that way. We'll just go through the entire list 7 times. So round one, round one, you guys got pirates. Tarek, you roll next.
Okay, I got a 9.
You have a primitive tribe. So roll me one race table.
And then I have to roll a new settlement as well.
Yep.
Why do I have to? Oh.
Your islands are populated, it seems.
We got a 10, which for my race, which is
You got furries.
Animals. So rat folks, gnolls, kenku, frog folk, cat folk. I'm going gnolls.
You have gnolls on your island.
Yeah, I have a savannah full of gnolls apparently that live with the lightning hawks.
Seems legit.
Their settlement will be /r a d6. They have a 4 for their settlement, which is a trade post.
They're traders.
Oh, like a big tent city. That's all I can think of right now. A big tent city in the middle of savannah with lightning hawks.
There you go. All right, Fred, you got a 7 on your 2d6. So that is geography. So you might have a new mountain range or something that your scouts have discovered.
Oh, you rolling for races.
Oh,
you got a 9.
Oh, you got a 9. Oh, sorry. All right, hold on. So 9 is new tribe, and you're rolling for races, and you got a 7 on races, so you got more humans. And Gothy, where did you leave off?
On resources.
All right, so basically pick 3 resources of your choice and put them anywhere in your home region. These are completely up to you. So, for instance, my island's over here. We have we have the Undying Sands of Healing, where basically it's a giant savanna, and while you're in here, nothing grows, but nothing dies either.
I chose 3. I guess I'm done then.
Oh, what were your 3 resources?
I'm guessing the mountain one is going to be left alone then. I'm not 100% on the lake, but I only got one thing for it. I want to do like a bunch of small things, but one of them is if you quench blacksmithing, if you quench the metal in the water, the durability is increased for it.
So it makes metal stronger. Cool.
Yeah. In the forest on the same island, there's in the middle of the forest, there's a small group of fruit trees that grows that only grows fruit from that particular island, nowhere else. And it doesn't do anything, it's just a status symbol if you have a fruit.
So you have very fancy looking fruit.
Yes.
Alright.
And the desert island is a game reserve with like giant sand creatures. One of them was like giant sandworm for like dunes from like Dune or Tremors.
Sounds
So,
fun. Have you
Yeah.
decided on your major? Have you decided your major faction yet?
no, because
Roll me 2d6.
all right.
So the last major race in our world is whatever the fuck you want, Gothy.
Oh my god, she got
Oh my!
boy.
Jesus Christ.
So literally anything. What
Give
major
me a
race?
minute.
No
Give me a
worries.
minute.
Big crab people.
Like, you want to put fucking Kenku on this map? You can put fucking Kenku on this map.
Which is a
Dragons.
Or sentient eggs. I don't know.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I
Don't-
guess Dragonborn.
Dragonborn. Alright, we got dragon people on your island.
ooh.
Alright, so basically pick a spot, basically pick one of your islands, and put your capital city of your dragon empire, and give it a name and flag.
Wait, what? I only heard. The only thing I remember was flag.
Yeah, so pick basically on one of your islands, place your your capital city.
Okay. I don't have to give it a name at the moment, right?
Only if you want to.
Okay.
But yeah, feel free to come up with a capital city and come up with a flag.
Okay. You guys can go ahead. It's gonna take me a
Uh,
minute.
No worries. All right. And let me know when you're done with that, and we'll move on to your pantheon of your dragon people. All right. Where were we? We were on Fred. Yeah, Fred had where it was just at new geography, right?
I think so.
All right. So it's me next. All right.
Yep.
3d6. Oh no. Roll 3d6. It'd be a lot easier if I had like physical dice. All right. I got 9. I got geography. Cool. All right. There is a new geographic feature on my island. And it is a 2d6. It is a jungle. Interesting. Alright. Wasn't expecting a jungle. Gonna need to put one over here.
You don't have much space for jungle.
I'll worry
Okay.
about I will put one down as Usjin is rolling. So Usjin, roll me 3d6.
Oh, hi. There we go, 8.
8. So alright, so on your island we have all the way down. You got bandits as well.
Oh, sick.
Or pirates. And Raza, roll me 3d6.
Houston, is it a wizard's tower in the middle of the lake?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice. I dig it.
Nice.
Alright.
11.
11. Your empire is expanding, so you get a new settlement.
So roll on table.
Yeah, so roll me a d6 and you have a new settlement.
Wait, do I need to roll again? Oh, okay.
To find out what kind of settlement your crab people have founded.
5.
You got a fort somewhere.
They have a
A
mill
4?
somewhere. Holy shit.
Can I reinforce the market town with a 4?
I mean, if you want to give walls around the market town, that counts as a fort.
Yeah, your new market town could become a military fort at the same.
Or can I put a fort on the other island? Because I haven't really done anything with the other island yet.
Yeah.
Really.
This is anywhere in your region. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the same island.
Nah, I'm gonna make a fort in the other island. All right.
So I'm just gonna put a jungle on the tip end of this island right here. Caius, we're at you again. 3d6. 10. Colonization. Your empire is growing to distant shores. You have a coastal settlement, preferably on a nearby island.
That means you can choose anyone's island, right? Or just one of his?
Right now, stay in your home region.
Okay.
So basically, after your civil war, your people apparently have decided to colonize a different island.
So can I like make? Actually, no. Never mind. I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do.
So basically, anywhere in your corner of the world, basically put down a new settlement. And Tarek, roll me 3d6.
Yep. I another 9.
You got another tribe.
Oh god.
Roll me on a race table.
Yay,
Oh
we're
gosh. I guess.
friends.
Well, we found
Let's
out
see.
where all the food is, guys.
Yeah. All the people decided to live on Tarek's Island.
Well,
Look,
you
we
got a
can eat
big
those
island.
people.
Tarek's Island is the biggest
Have
vacation
more
home.
animal folk.
You got more furries. What type?
Let's see. I already have gnolls. Gnolls are in the savannah. What about something for in the adamantine forest? Let's do cat folk in the adamantine forest.
All right, you got
Like
you got lion people, or
they might be. Some of them look like lions. Some of them look like tigers. Probably.
there you
They
go.
they use the adamantine trees as.
All right, Fred, you roll me 3d6 as well.
I need to go roll another second, real fast.
All right, Fred, colonization as well. Oh, as Kaiser's folk, as the half dwarves colonize your settlement, you're like, nah, I'm going to colonize you right back.
They.
So
I think we're gonna have a lot of civil wars in our area.
yeah. Wait. So I can only nearby islands by me, right?
Yeah, so it has to be in your corner of the map, but basically put a settlement somewhere on the coast.
All right. Give me a second.
Oh, the
Right.
cats have apparently a mining settlement for
No,
harvesting.
no,
these-
you don't need to roll settlement, Tarek. This is primitive tribe. Oh, well, unless you
What?
want to give them a settlement. But this is a primitive tribe you found, not a minor faction.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't mind adding the settlement. I think it'll probably go better without the settlement for the cat folk.
I am also colonizing. Wonderful.
Oh my gosh, so much expansion.
Well, early game there's going to be a lot of expansion, but later game it's going to be a lot less. There's going to be later game. Oopsie, let me go E for eraser. Let me delete some of this landmass. And I'll say like right here at the edge of the jungle, we have another settlement, and I am marking settlements with blue. And I'm going to, oh no, that's erase. I want B for brush. I don't really know how to scroll around the map quite yet. I'm gonna put there, and I'm going to say that, what do I want to give? I want to give this, I'm going to say jungle settlement is trade part, because I'm boring like that. Alright, so then...
Are you gonna be the normal people over there?
Well, we're seafaring folk, we're just humans. Use Jin, 3d6.
Also have a military fort.
Use Jin.
Yeah. 3d6. Another 8.
8, alright, you got more bandits!
Nice.
Oh my god, so many bandits.
Or pirates.
Did you say 3d8 or 3d6?
3d6.
Cool.
Alright, and Raza, second time around, roll me 3d6.
8.
More bandits!
Bandits?
Bandits and pirates! Lots of them.
Alright, we're gonna go with pirates. Pirates are trying to steal the gold. Right, there we go.
Yeah, so put them like right next to your gold, basically. They are smack dab on your trade route.
This is fucking hilarious.
Lots of crab pirates.
Crab pirates?
Or pirates trying to steal from the crabs.
Alright, and before we move on to round 3, Gothe, are you ready to... Are you settled on everything over there? Just so I want to catch you up to the rest of us.
Almost done with my flag.
Alright, you still working on your flag? No worries. Alright, so round 4, Caius. 3d6.
You got a 14, which is neighbor expands. He
All right,
chooses
so
a-
yeah, so basically pick one of the factions next to you, aka Fred, and basically add the settlement to them.
Well, no, didn't they both get a hostile
Oh,
faction as well?
yeah. So, do you want to expand Fred, or do you want to expand one of the hostile factions next to you?
I want to expand Fred's.
All right, where is Fred expanded to?
You know the tribe that we put around the crystals and the demon?
Mm-hmm.
Let's expand that one.
All right, make a new settlement for them. Give it a name.
Right. All right. So, do I roll like a?
Yeah, roll on the settlement.
Give me a second.
Or you could just come up with something. That works too.
Yeah,
But if you want to,
probably or roll a d6.
I'm going to randomize it.
all right, roll d6.
Yep, this is Caius's turn. You get
They got a 4.
milk.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Demons and shit right there. Yeah.
You got a demon
That's
fort.
Not to mention your enemy Civil War tribe.
All right, and Tarek,
That's
round
good.
number 4,
It's gonna be
3d6.
demons versus pirates.
I got
Bandits.
bandits. I finally got bandits. Something that wasn't.
Bandits.
Yeah, so again, it's brigands, pirates, just evil folk that are killed by adventurers. Put them on a trade route, give them a name, give them a banner.
Could I maybe do it as like, this is just an idea, but could I possibly make it so the Hotfoot Gobos are the pirates, sort of trying to infiltrate the Durgar?
You could say that there are a lot of pirates among the goblins, but the goblins are their own separate faction. Maybe some of the goblins have broken off and become bandits.
That's true. I could probably do that.
So you have a goblin pirate problem, but also another goblin kingdom.
Nah, let's not do goblins. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna privately roll while you guys go on to the next turn.
All right, we're still at 4, so we are at Fred, I believe. Oh, no, did Fred just go?
Okay.
This is 3, actually.
Oh, this is round 3? Okay.
Yeah, because I've been marking it down.
All right, Goffy,
Okay,
you
I'm
got...
ready to go.
All right, cool. So do you want to move on to Pantheon now?
I guess so.
Okay, roll me a d6 for how many gods your dragons have.
Oh, just 1d6?
Yep, or you can just decide.
Right.
But rolling dice is fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Well, now I know why there's a military fort for the Durgar. Giants.
All right, 4, you have 3 main deities. And so roll me 3d6, and I'll tell you what kind of deities your dragons worship.
Okay.
All right, so you have 2 gods of geography. So a god of the mountains, a god of the swamps or seas, or a god of a volcano, and you have 1 god of nature. So feel free to come up with names and symbols for them.
I don't really have symbols, but that's fine.
Or just name general gist of what they're about.
Yeah.
Think you can do that, Goffy?
Probably not.
Do you do not want to generate gods for your people?
No, I do. I'm just not good at background stuff, so.
All
You are
right,
perfect.
well, I got some bad news. This entire game is
Yeah, I
background
know.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm waiting for breakdown at the moment.
If it
Wait for
helps,
that to come
everybody had to learn to walk at some point.
Yeah, I know.
All right, do you want to take a back seat again? Wait for the rest of us to keep generating our kingdoms? The whole
Sure.
point is to spark your creativity.
I know, sweetie. Sorry, talking to my dog. Wait, what was the question?
Do you want to think about your gods right now, or do you want to take a back seat again?
I'm gonna think for a little bit.
Yep, no worries. Think as much as you need. All right, so that was Tarek was the last person to roll. All right, so then we are at Fred for round 3. I believe is where we are.
No, wouldn't it be Caius? Or
No, I'm going in order on Discord.
okay.
Actually, no, you already did your thing, so I guess it is my go. I'll roll 3d6. I got an 8. So I also have pirates.
How many bandits?
Well, it's a D&D map. There's supposed to be lots of fucking bandits. That's the point.
Yeah, fair enough.
And also, this game is generally like a 2-person thing, but we have like a 6-player game going, so we're bound to get some repeats. All right, and Yusjin, roll for expanding empires.
No bandits? Nice.
All right, 13. 13 is not bandits. No, hostile attack. So one of the hostile forces on your island has destroyed one of your forts or settlements.
Ooh.
So what's the hostile neighbors on your map again?
We got
The necromancer.
Oh, we got a bunch. We got some pirates over in the what's it called? The West Desert, some in the East Desert. We got some dwarves down south. We got the wizard chilling in the ocean over there.
All right, so somebody has turned one of your settlements into a ruin and or occupied it. Who did it?
The wizard.
Did he occupy one of the settlements, or is it just like a smoking ruin right now?
I'd like to say smoking ruin.
Okay, so
And
pick one
I
of your
think he
settlements.
cast
It's a
Fireball
smoking
couple of
ruin now.
times. Fireball was used.
A classic.
Oh gods, this is getting pretty intense. And this will be my 4th roll that comes up next.
Alright, alright, so that was Yusjin, and now we're at Raza for round 3.
Okay, roll 3d6. Do I still have a copy? No.
$13. Same thing, hostile attack. So what are the hostile factions in your island?
I have mosquitoes and I have pirates invading.
All right, which of those things? One of your settlements is now a smoking ruin or has been occupied. Which one?
I guess the pirates succeeded in raising the marketplace.
All right, did they take over the town or did they destroy it?
Now they're taking over town. Yeah, now it's now a pirate town.
It's
yes.
now a pirate town. All right, make a note of that.
Alright, so the marketplace turned into a pirate town. Okay.
All right, and now we are on round 4, and this will be the last round for Caius and Fred. So Caius, 3d6.
Yeah, because they've been rolling a lot.
Neighbor expands. So one of the factions nearby you, add a settlement to them. Caius?
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you want to think about it?
I have to roll for that, right? Let's roll.
Oh,
it's
you can
1d6 I have to roll for, right?
No. It is one of your. Who do you want to expand?
Oh, it's an expansion. My bad.
Yeah,
Sorry,
one
my
of your
bad.
neighbors has expanded.
So I can't expand my own stuff.
This is not you. This is one of either your hostile or friendly neighbors has expanded.
I'm going to expand my mining town.
All right. No, not you. One of your neighbors.
Oh, so it would have to be Fred's stuff then, or
one of the hostile factions.
I feel like we've been bigging up the bad guys too much. I'm gonna add to Fred's settlement capital.
All right, so roll me a d6.
Yeah, because you will be getting a resource town.
All right, so put a resource town somewhere in the Fred Empire.
Woo.
Make a lumber town and shit, probably.
Or maybe it's next to one of the resources on your map.
A lot of trees. That's the one thing.
Or it's a
Is-
lumber camp. That works too.
Your capital is the
It's like
purple
the big
guy.
white thing, like on the side.
And make sure you're connecting your settlements with roads, like dotted lines and stuff. Alright, so Caius, you're now done. Tarek, roll me 3d6.
Yeah, Fred, add like a
Yes!
farm around your.
The mansion.
Alright, you
Can you
got
say that again? I couldn't hear you.
colonization.
Yes.
So
and I have,
on a nearby island, put a
Yep.
coastal settlement.
Yep. Let me roll a d6. I am
And
rolling
Fred, your last settlement,
3 for a new.
or Fred, your
Wait, say again?
last. Fred, roll me 3d6 for Age of Discovery.
Okay. All right. Give me a second.
Okay, let's make this resource town a. Let's make it a blue circle.
7.
7.
New geography. So roll on the geography table.
All right. Give me a second.
So this is a 2d6.
Yeah, 2d6.
So there's some wetlands somewhere on your islands. So you are welcome to put your river delta or wherever you'd like to put it on your islands.
All right. Put some about wet the desert a little bit, you know.
Generally, wetlands are not next to deserts, but hey, man, it's your island. All right, Caius and Fred are now done. Then it is on to me. I get a 10, which is all the way down. Colonization. All right. So
Looks like the southern island is getting people.
indeed, it looks like our southern island. I wasn't expecting to have a settlement here, but let's go blue for settlements. And I'd like to go pixel pencil. And I want it. So that's trade ports, and there's pirates over there. Tempted to call this one Trade Port 2. I'm gonna say, what's it called? Instead of Trade Port, Southern. I kind of wanted this to be like a. I'm just gonna call this Gate.
Just gate?
Or the Gate, because I was kind of imagining this isthmus here basically being like a big, like, Project Atlantropa thing, where it's like, if you want to get into the main part of the settlement, you kind of have to pass through this little gate. So this will be like a fort, as it were, a naval base. Yushin, 3d6.
Hey, perfect timing.
8. More bandits!
No.
More elven bandits! Or
Bandit
elf
country.
pirates. Bandit country. So again, put them anywhere near a resource or on a trade route or something like that.
You can just copy paste your bandit symbol at this point. You're gonna have like 2 more bandits pop up.
Raza, 3d8. Or 3d6, rather.
Yes. 15.
You got a new valuable resource somewhere.
A new valuable resource. I
Far,
have to think of
it
that.
has to be far away from the capital, though.
Can I I'm gonna go with the southern tip because there's like nothing there yet.
Yep, so your
Alright,
scouts just discovered something valuable down there.
Let's say there is coral reefs who have magical properties. Like healing. Yes, healing coral reefs.
Healing coral reefs. Alright, mark it down there.
Yes.
Alright, so that was round 4. Now we're on to round 5. Tarek, roll me 3d6. Or Gotha, you want to join back in?
I decided to get rid of the geographic god and stick with the nature god. What's that religion in India that I'm thinking of? Because I'm thinking the nature god can like split into like more and more specific gods as needed. But I think that's more work for me.
Hinduism?
Yeah, that's it. Hinduism. Why am I thinking Buddhism? Hinduism. Yeah.
Well, that's also from India. So you have like a Hindu dragon?
The Hindu part is all I got at the moment.
Well, feel free to expand on it later.
Okay. I
Would you like to move on to burgeoning kingdoms then? Gothy?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so you have so roll me 2d6. All right, so you have a trade post and a temple. So these are the two other settlements your dragons have founded. Put them on the same island as your capital, and put a little road connecting them to your capital. And give each settlement a name if you'd like.
Oh wait, where is that on? Which page is that on?
Of the PDF.
Oh, okay, found it.
You're on page 10 right now for early settlers.
Okay.
So they have to go on the same island as your capital.
Okay, so you said a trading post and a
monastery.
What was it?
Or a temple.
Okay. All right.
So basically put two settlements down there and give them names and connect them to your capital with a road.
Ooh, that's gonna be difficult.
Do you want us to wait for you, or do you want to take your time?
Because what I'm thinking for I'm not.
Do you want us to wait for you, or do you want us to come back to you when you have a second? When you come up with some names? We don't want this to be stressful for you.
And I've completely lost my thought. What did you just say?
I said, do you understand what you have to do right now?
I have to make a trading post and a monastery.
Yes. So find a location on your starting island you'd like to put these two settlements, connect them to your capital with a road, and give them a name.
So they have to be separate from the main city.
Yes.
Dang it.
Or do you not want to have other settlements?
Because I just want everything to be in the capital city from what I'm thinking of.
You don't want to have your dragons have not moved away from their capital city. They just have one giant metropolis, and everything else is unexplored. If I'm stressing you out, you can say I don't. If you need some time to think, you can say I need some time to think. It's okay. Yeah, feel free to write ideas down. Would you like the rest of us to keep going while you're thinking?
I didn't hear the last part you cut out.
Would you like the rest of us to keep going while you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. So the last person was Tarek, yeah?
Yep, and it was a new resource, which I have just finally decided what it is. They are called the shadow pools. Basically like pools of inky black water that kind of get affected by like whatever Pathfinder's equivalent to the Shadowfell is.
Alright.
It's it could either be a very powerful poison or magically magical enhancement based on how you use it. You kind of have to dilute it alchemically to get it to be powerful out, because otherwise you'd like drink pure poison and you most likely are going to get and die.
Sounds cool.
So yeah, the shadow pools.
I have a resource town that I will be exploiting. And let me remember what my resources are. I have the anti-gravity rocks. All right, so we're going to say we have a floating citadel floating right above this canyon, which is where we find our anti-gravity rocks. I could call it just the floating city, but I'm going to call it the shining city.
Fancy.
For reasons that, if any of you guys know what the shining city is, will be horribly ironic. All right, so that was me. We're on round 5, yeah?
Yeah, this is the middle of round 5.
All right, so Yusjin, roll for more bandits.
Ooh, almost.
16. All right, 16 is roaming herds. Strange and magnificent beasts have been spotted. Are they large? Are they aggressive? Are they tasty? So you have a new creature that's never been foreseen somewhere in your home region.
Probably surrounded by bandits already, but yes.
Like, have the bandits been breeding with sheep, and now you have sheep bandits?
Oh, gods.
Or maybe
Wow.
woolly mammoth? You have a roaming band of some sort of creature. Or Tarasks. Like, I man, if you want to have Tarasks, you can have Tarasks.
They haven't spotted them before.
Right down here in actually, we'll put it in the desert. We're gonna have monkey tigers.
Monkey tigers.
That's going to be terrifying.
Raza, 3d6.
But all I could think that was baby Tarasks. How cute would they be?
8. No!
More bandits!
No!
More bandits! See, this is why every world needs adventurers. This world more than ever. We've got a serious bandit problem, guys.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah,
So just make a bandit king.
Yeah.
I have a.
Hey man, if you want all your bandits to bound together and make a new faction, like that's a thing you can do.
The Hindu
I'm going with more pirates. No.
Yeah, feel free to fill out the ocean. Like, we got a lot of ocean with not a whole lot in it. So if you got like a floating pirate kingdom out there, that sounds fun.
Yeah,
It makes sense because your people are underwater, are they not?
Not to
I mean, they're both, right? They are underwater and above the water, but yes.
There's something you can put in.
Not to mention the fact that you just have so many pirates and bandits coming after you.
Well, it's all the different species of crab. Yeah, this is Age of Discovery. This is before we've all left our home regions.
I mean,
all right, so we are now at round 6, which
We
I believe is the last
our
one.
little sections of the world are the only
No,
parts of the world.
there are.
Or 7 rounds. All right, so cool. So Tarek, roll me 3d6.
I got a 13 this time. 13.
Hostile attack. A nearby hostile. So what are your hostile factions currently?
I have goblins called the Redfoot Goblins, and then I have the Ashkin Bandits, which are a bunch of giant bandits.
All right, so who destroyed a Dugar settlement, and which one?
Oh, honestly, I think the Giants probably would have taken over the midpoint watch.
Taken over or raised?
Let me decide. Odds for one, evens for the other. It is even, so they raised it. They completely decimated the ruin. It is just a ruined watchtower now.
All right, make a note of that.
I will draw little squiggly lines for it. Little black squiggles
so it's
like
the ruins of the watchtower now.
Yep, it's a big old X there now.
Okay, I'm not going to place any settlements outside of the capital.
All right, you don't want to have any settlements?
No.
All right, well, I will say that this game is about making like an empire, unless you want to just say your people are just very claustrophobic and don't have an empire.
I mean, I don't think they want to settle in a very dangerous land. Well, that isn't safe since is like where I put the capital is where hunting and games are. So giant man-eating yeah. Anyway,
Well,
Doesn't do much.
are you going to say you're done with your map then? Because the rest of the game is mostly about expanding your empire.
I mean, they can go to neighboring islands and
Do you want them to
do things.
colonize a nearby island?
Yeah.
All right, where do they
Thinking that
colonize?
was going.
Okay, fair enough. What's it called? But have you, Gothy? Did you roll hostile yet?
No.
Okay, roll me a d6.
All right.
All right, 5. You have demons
Oh no,
on the Dragon Isles,
that's a lot of
More
demons.
demons.
so they can be
Okay.
either on the same island or another island.
I was about to ask that. All right.
I like what you're doing there, Yushin. How do you get so much detail in there?
Pro strats. Also, we're zooming in. That helps a lot.
Is that a monkey tiger you drew?
Yes.
He's still going. I'm
it
watching
look-
the progress.
Oh, I mean this purely out of fun and laughter, but it almost looks like a Sasquatch wearing striped socks, and I love it.
Oh my god, yeah, he's like in a onesie. It's not
I
actually
can
a
see
monkey
that,
tiger.
that's
It's
awesome.
monkeys that evolved to wear onesies like tigers to scare off predators.
I
That's
absolutely love it. It is so freaky, but I love it so much. And I'm just hoping my are survive because they just lost their only military fort. They only have 3 settlements. Their capital, which is called the Obsidian Fortress.
Well, this
They're
is just Age of Discovery. We still have a few more ages to go through.
I know they only have 3 fortresses before we even finish
so
this.
So we're on the last round right now. Yeah.
If everyone is done through it, yes.
Oh no, I'm
Yeah, I
saying
want more bandits, really.
well, there's still
No.
me. There's still me, Yuzjin, and Raza.
Oh, and then we have one more round because this is round 6, 7.
Okay, so 8 for me. So I got bandits as well.
Of course.
I will decide on that when I have a second.
Everyone needs to be
Yuzjin, second to last roll, 3d6.
Give me something good.
Bandits.
Colonization. So your people have decided to colonize a new settlement. So build a new coastal settlement, preferably on a nearby island.
I'll put it on another shore or something. That'll work.
Yeah, because you only have the one big island, so.
You are united.
And Raza, second to last roll.
16.
16. You also got a new beast. So
A new
strange and
beast.
magnificent beast. Give
Do
it
the-
a symbol and name for these new creatures. Roaming herds of something.
I mean, it can be one big creature, right?
No, legendary monster is a different thing. This is a herds of something. Maybe it's a big
So it's a
thing.
herd?
Yeah, it's a herd of something. Are they aggressive? Are they tasty? Maybe it's like Pegasi or something.
Let me think of something.
Yeah,
I'll
no worries.
We have one more round of this still after all, so we're good.
Yeah, I
Okay.
still need to think about me second round bandits.
And
Okay. Yeah, I rolled 76 with the Age of Discovery thing, right?
you 3d6 7 times.
Oh.
Yeah, well,
All right.
hold on a sec for that, Gothy. Let's finish this. Let's finish all this first. So,
right.
Tarek, roll me 3d6 last time.
Yep, last time. I got an 11, which is expansion. I got a new settlement.
Yeah, so roll on the settlement table.
After you just lost one too.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Just rebuild your old
I-
settlement.
Another resource town. That is 3 resource towns for the Durgar.
Your people are miners. Makes sense.
Yeah, I think You know what? I'm gonna make it so that they don't. Where do they want to go? You know what? I'm gonna make it another fishing town on the same island. Well, actually, no, they haven't. They have that one fishing town from over here, so I'm gonna make it so that they started. Nah, they probably started heading towards the adamantine forest because. Oh, that is not what I wanted. I want a blue square. Now, so I will just mark that down. I have to be right back, though. Y'all have fun finishing your round.
Yep. Now we at my go. So let me do 3d6. I got 8, so that's more bandits.
Really?
Yep.
Did you really roll another 8? Oh no.
Oh,
Got lots of bandits.
how many
And
times?
I'm gonna interpret that in a slightly different way. I'm gonna say we have underwater bandits. We have a hostile tribe of merfolk who are trying to kill everybody. And that's part of the reason we decided to try and make this a giant choke point, and that's the reason we have not expanded a whole lot till that point.
I've decided on my herds, by the way, and it's
What?
going to be hippogriffs.
You got a herd of hippogriffs. That works. All right, use and roll for more bandits.
Oh boy, what kind of bandits are they got now? Ooh.
One of your neighbors has expanded. So pick one of one of the other factions on your island, and they have expanded.
Pick the bandits.
Let's see.
So which of the settlements near you would you like? Which of the factions near you would you like to expand?
Do the cavemen count as a faction?
I mean, if you want them to settle.
Yes.
Okay, where have they settled?
I'll move them.
And roll to see what type of settlement they have.
They've learned how to build a boat. What was that roll then? Just 1d6?
1d6 for the type of settlement they have.
3.
A 3 is a... where is settlements? Settlements is... they have a resource town. So which of your resources are they exploiting?
Oh, shoot, darn. I'll move them over. Those really hard trees, how about that?
There you go, that's what they're chopping. And Raza, final roll for Age of Discovery.
Yes. There we go. Please no bandits. Please. Yes.
9. New tribe. Your explorers have made contact with a new primitive tribe.
God, there's so much going on now.
Yeah, roll 2d6.
Yep.
2d6.
Yep, for a new race.
Roll 2d6.
Elves.
You got tribal elves.
Looks like I'm having jungle elves.
I put them in the jungle.
Do they have a settlement?
If you want them to have a settlement, but they are tribal.
They're just jungle elves. Forget. No, they're just one with nature.
There you go.
They like chocolate.
Chocolate jungle elves.
Chocolate jungle elves.
They're like chocolate farmers.
Well, they're all black, obviously.
No, they're all chocolate.
All right, Gothy, would you like to... What's it called? Would you like to do Burgeoning Kingdoms?
Let's...
So roll me 3d6.
Did I skip that then? Did I? No, that was a question mark. Did I
The
skip that accidentally?
Yeah, that's what we've been doing right now.
Okay, cool.
So
Yeah,
roll me 3d6 7 times.
All
And
right.
we'll deal with these one at a time. And again, if you're stuck, everyone else is done here, so everyone else can help you with coming up with ideas and settlements.
That'll be nice, yes.
Yeah, so just roll 3d6 7 times, and we'll take this one at a time. Right, 6 more times. 5 more times. 4 more times. 3 more times. 2 more times. And once more. Alright, so the first thing your dragon folk did is they have discovered another kingdom on their island. This might be why they didn't expand. So roll on the race table.
All right, where's save?
2d6. Alright, they have discovered some dwarves on the island with them.
Nice.
You can put down 2 settlements for these dwarves. Where have these dwarves settled, Gothy? Or Anne, rather. Gothy? You still with us?
Yeah.
Alright. Would you like suggestions?
Yeah.
Alright. Everybody else here, can you guys give suggestions to Anne?
Okay, your settlement, that is the red circle, right? For the original dragon?
No, it's purple. It's in
Okay, it's the purple.
canyon.
Okay,
It's in the canyon.
Oh,
Yeah, that.
erase that blue line because apparently I don't have my hand tool ready. Okay, let's see. You have
Whoopsie.
dwarves. Oh,
Whoopsie, wrong button. Please ignore this.
just hit the backspace. Yep, there we go.
Whoopsie.
You are fine. I made the same mistake but with a line. Let's see. Well, do you have an idea of what kind of dwarf you want? Because there are 3 kinds: mountain, hill, or Durgar. Durgar are like what I'm off of, but
What's a Durgar?
basically they're basically like drow, but dwarves instead of. So they're very sensitive to light normally, but they mostly live underground.
I think that's the best option, since
All right.
everything else is desert.
Yeah, you could maybe make them so that they may be maybe they live in caves that are somewhere hidden in the desert, or maybe they live on the other side of the canyon, like over. Like right there, somewhere in that general area on the other side of the valley.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
No, what color?
Ultimately, your choice how you want it to do. But that's
because I have no idea what to do.
Dwarves typically live in very hill-based, mountain-based, or underground-based areas. So that's really all you would just need to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And what got this? Expansion. No.
Alright, so how many settlements would you like the dwarves to have? Generally, they have 2.
Oh,
Yeah, if you want to decide to settlement, you can just roll randomly once on the settlement table or twice if you want 1 or 2. It's ultimately your choice.
Keep it simple. Keep it as one.
What type of settlement do they have?
Is there examples in?
Yes. If you do you have the PDF open?
Yeah.
Page 10 called Era 3 Burgeoning Kingdoms. There's a little table which is you roll a d6 and you pick one of the 6 types of settlements based on that. So if you roll a d6, you can get a random settlement type.
Okay.
They would have a resource town.
So you can put them next to one of the resources.
Yep. Whether that's for food or something that you have chosen as a resource.
Which. Okay, I can't.
Do you want some time to think about it?
No, I'm done. I'm done.
You don't want to work on your settlement anymore?
Hey, you're okay, Gothy. Don't worry.
No, I'm just.
We don't want to overwhelm you.
Yeah, if you want to take a break, you can.
If you want, we'll just continue with everyone else's empires and just say there's a bunch of dragons on that island and they're isolationist.
Okay. Yeah.
There we go. Cool. All right. So no empires on that island, but anyone else is welcome to colonize that island. Speaking of which, you may notice that I removed all of the borders. This is because now going forward, whatever you roll, anybody can put on any island.
Oh god.
Age of Empires.
We are at Age 5, the Age of Empires.
That's exciting.
And it's 3d6 time, y'all.
You Gothy?
No, I can.
We don't want to force you to play if it's stressing you out.
Yeah, no, I'm done. I'm done. I'm sorry.
If you need some time, just take some time. We'll see you next Monday.
Yeah, we will see you next Monday, Gothy. No worries.
Yeah, fine.
Okay, yeah. We'll see you next Monday.
Take your time.
Take care.
Alright, so for this one, we're going to be going in the same order. So, Caius, roll me, and obviously for this one, we'll try to take a bit more time. So, Caius, roll me 3d6. So this is for you and Fred.
Exclamation. There you go.
Alright, 14. So there has been a rising cult. So something nefarious is looming in your empire and has gathered enough worshippers to construct its own facility. So this might have been demon summoners, necromancers, mad wizards, but you got a cult somewhere on one of your islands. Where would you like to put them?
They should put them by the demons, don't you think?
Yeah, let's just
Yeah.
freaking we're gonna have a demon kingdom.
Exactly. Underground demon.
Let's do it.
So again, this does not necessarily need to be in your empire. You can place these anywhere. So if you want this cult to be on the Dragon Isle or in Eustace Island, you can do that.
Just
The Isle of Mystery.
All right.
So-
I don't know. I don't want to mess with Yushin's.
okay, don't
Like
think of it as a mess with someone else's island. We're
I
all
mean, it
world
kind of
building.
is.
We're all world building here.
All right,
No.
let's stock up in more bad guys in Demon Island we got going, Fred.
On Demon Island. All right.
Is
Yeah.
Demon Island the top right island?
Yes, like the by Glenn's fort.
Do you want to write Demon Island next to it, just so everyone knows what it's called?
I mean,
All right.
at the
Alright,
end,
I'll do
we
that.
have like an overview of what everyone's is, so we can like focus on stuff. Or no?
Does
Demon Island.
does everyone have names for their islands?
Yes. There's no
be-
text tool, is there?
I don't think there is a text tool, but yeah, we can name things at the end if people don't have names.
Yeah, because I kind of want to like repeat the history because I'm kind of interested in everyone's islands, but it's hard to keep track of everything.
Not good with names.
Well, end the session today. We could give like a quick rundown of our kingdoms.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. That could work. For now, let's just refer to based off everyone's tribes.
Yeah.
Like, for example, we have the Hive, we have the Forgeborn, we have the Kites, as I'm going to call them. We have the Dragons, we have your Fredius, and then we have...
They're the Fredians.
We are the
Freddie,
red
yeah.
flag.
We
have a red flag.
People called
the red flags. So, yeah.
Houston. What's your people called?
That's a good question.
Alright.
We'll think about it later.
Alright, Caius, did you put down your cult?
Yeah,
No, not yet. Oh, you put it down, Fred?
Yeah, but it's like by the red trees on the top.
Got it.
Yeah, you see it?
That,
Yeah, I saw it there.
Alrighty, so that was first round for you. Tarek.
Yep, I am going to dice roll. An 11, which is...
Expand. So
Wow.
your empire so the Dugar are expanding. So roll me a settlement table. So roll a d6 for what type of settlement.
Yep. I will go scroll up so I can see what I get. /RD6. Well, not slash, but you know what I mean. 5. I get a new military fort. Yay!
And you may place this anywhere on the map.
Oh, do they want to put a military fort to defend themselves from the? Well, no, they have their iron fortress. Their obsidian fortress is a.
You do have the obsidian fortress, but you also see a number of new. Your settlement has discovered a number of new land masses.
You know what? We are going to go eastward. So we will go. I will grab and make a. Let's make this a bright green square. Right here.
All right,
Ooh.
and what is this fort called?
I am going to determine.
You have moved on to the crab people's territory.
Now I'm marking this down all in my own personal notes. Okay, and
I mean, there's only one fort on that western island. The crab people are more on the eastern island, really.
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
they just went. They settled
There's
on
more
Earth
elves
Island.
there. There's more jungle elves there than crabs. So
All right, so that means it is my go next.
And I'm going to call this military fort, which is a green square.
Tarek, remind me of what your island is. What's this black settlement and blue settlement up here?
Hold on. The black circle is a resource called the shadow pools. Basically, it's either a very powerful alchemical ingredient or a very nasty poison. Whereas the blue square is actually a lumber mill area. It is called the adamant sawmill. It is basically a small lumber town that is currently in the middle of harvesting some of the adamantine trees.
Well, I am afraid the red flag is declaring war on you for they're poison right there. Sounds perfect for our cannonballs.
That is perfectly fine to take, mostly because I don't think there's any defending there.
No, I rolled war.
I know, I saw that.
You rolled a roll.
There's a war, so roll a d6.
Alrighty. So
And
I'm gonna roll a d6 for our war against the dwarves.
Yep. On the table right now for war, it is a single d6.
Yep. 2.
2. That is failed attack.
Oh God! All right, so we
maintaining control.
Yeah, so we invaded you, trying to take your poison. You fought us back. Don't worry, it's not worth it anyway. All right, so
that's what they told themselves at least.
That was my turn. Yushin, you may roll 3d6. And I say I will also build a memorial for that war somewhere.
15.
Yushin got a 15, which is where is Age of Empires 15? Disaster
famine.
Something terrible has struck you, so you got a natural disaster, a famine, or a disease, along with all of your bandits. So one settlement of yours has gone up in smoke.
Kush has lost a lot.
He has.
I see a burning, smoking fort over there, and I don't see many other settlements really.
Mm-hmm.
We got the one down with they're hanging out with the dwarves in the south. Then we have that port town right next to the capital.
Which one of them has gone up in smoke?
The port.
Oh.
Alright, so you may replace that with a ruin.
He'll get around to it, right?
Yep. So that was round 1. Next 10 years. Caius.
Wait, no, I'm still going.
Oh yeah, sorry, Raza. Raza, roll me 3d6.
15 as well. No.
You got a disaster. So one of your settlements went up in smoke.
No, he got a 14.
Oh, 14.
Rising cult. He got a rising
You
cult.
got a cult. All right. So where would you like to put a cult on your idols? Or anywhere in the world.
Right. Let's put a I want to go really stupid. Alright. What is that western island over there, Fred, that you have?
Oh, which one? Oh, the bottom one?
Yeah, the bottom western one. Horseshoe Isle?
Wait, which one? The one with the horseshoe or one with the marsh?
Yeah, it's called Horseshoe Isle.
Yeah, it's Caius's.
Oh, that's Caius's?
Yeah, it's Caius's.
Well, the two of them are sharing that corner.
Yeah, but Horseshoe Isle's mine. What's up?
Yeah.
There's a crab cult on it.
There might be a crab cult on the northern tip of the horseshoe.
Yeah, no worries. It's mainly all.
They call themselves the horseshoe crabs for some reason.
All right, that sounds like a fine cult. The horseshoe crabs of Horseshoe Isle.
Let me just mark that with a square.
Yeah, so I'm putting my settlements as blue dots, basically.
Or blue dots.
Or you don't need to worry about color. We'll be putting names on things later.
I'm gonna square that over there.
I really wish there was a way to put.
Do you mind? By the way, wait, I go under his.
This means war, Raza. This
no, it's the
war.
horseshoe.
Okay, it's not his empire setting up the crabs. It's just.
I can't draw.
It's okay.
I'm drawing under his layer.
Oh yeah, you have to move the layers.
Yeah, but if I move the layers, I might be like.
Which one are you? Are you layer 9?
I'm layer. I'm layer 3.
Okay, what if I do this?
Probably. Yeah, I've already drawn them there. Right.
Cool. All right, so we have the crab cult of the horseshoes.
Yeah.
All right, Caius and Fred, second round.
Uh,
So for the
Who's
next
your
10
roll?
years, what have you dealt with?
I want to roll.
3d6.
Okay. See what Fred rolls.
Second 3d6, right?
3d6.
Yep. Again.
Okay.
So each of these rolls is like 10 years of activity for your empire.
12.
That's
20.
12. Prosperity. So people are flocking to your empire. So your cities have been grown. You may add more farmland, draw ships in the ports. But generally, it is a very peaceful and very prosperous time for your empire right now.
Woo!
That's good.
10 years O piece. Tarek, 3d6.
Tarek gets an 11, which is expand again.
You got a new settlement. So roll on the settlement table.
Yeah, well, I got a military fort last time, so let's see what I get this time.
Are you still at war with the...
No, that was last decade. I
Okay.
lost.
5.
Oh.
That is another military fort.
Do you want to put it next to the big resource we had to fight? We had a war over.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Or you can put it on my island.
Invade.
You want to invade me?
What is the blue dot that's on the red border of your southern island?
What's it called? The
That's
one
the
right
gate.
above the blue, the one right above the black, or?
No, on your southern island, you have a red dot right on the red border.
Yes, that is the gate. That is a settlement that I
Yeah.
have placed there that's basically a giant-ass fort to prevent people from invading the inner part of our island.
Interesting.
So from the
okay.
south, it's basically mountains on the south, mountains on the left, mountains on the right, and the only main way to get into the inland is through that very narrow isthmus, which is full of mermaids.
Let's see. I am going to... We are... do we want to continue expanding it to Razas? Nah, not another military fort there. Yeah, we'll
You can
put
also
a military...
colonize the Dragon Isles. There's nothing there yet.
They're probably very curious about your place and want to make some defenses. So if you try and get past a fort right here,
Oh damn! You're putting a fort right there.
Not about 20 miles, I imagine, in game.
Interesting. We got a bit of a Cold War going on. What's this fort called?
Let me name it.
Fort Cold War.
Fort Cold War.
We are gonna call it Cold Iron.
Fort Cold Iron.
Nice. I like it.
We're gonna call it the Cold Iron Palace.
Alrighty, so that was Caius, and then it is my response. So as on/roll 3d6. So as you are building a fort in our borders, settlers have left and made their own faction. So my people have set out to work on their own, and I need to roll for new faction. Oh boy! All right, we got another faction going on. So we got. Let's roll 3d6 or 1d6. Let me go back.
New faction altogether.
A new faction altogether has been found.
A new faction is a new settlement. You need
copy and paste.
Which is a farming village, which has been set up. This southern Gothy southern island. That's just a giant desert, right?
I think so.
And what's on the other island to the right of me?
Hold on. Let me see.
I mean, I don't remember what was on that island.
I think that one's a healing pool. I think something to do with magic, if I recall.
Healing pool, maybe.
Yeah. She had chosen she had a lake that was a water-based resource for her.
I will say we have. Well, my people are a nautical people, so these people have moved inland, and these are the These are, and they want to get the hell away from me. So these are the Lakefarers, and they have taken up a area right there next to the lake. They've colonized that island.
Ooh, interesting.
Lake.
What race are they?
They are humans. They are the Lakefarers.
Oh, so you rolled humans again?
No. It's not a race. It's my people have left my empire and made a new faction.
Yeah, basically, like, people were tired of something that happened. Maybe they were tired about.
It's not a
losses
hostile faction. It's
before.
not a revolution. It's just all the what's it called? All the people who are done with our bullshit decided to leave, and they found a lake full of healing properties.
Yeah, they were
Hmm.
probably tired of them trying to, go to war over some shadow pools.
Yeah, fuck those shadow pools. We got healing rocks. Alright, so that's me. So Yusjin, we're on round number 2.
Doesn't Fred and Kais have to roll still?
No,
Didn't they have-
they're on the same. They're on the same turn.
Oh, okay.
8, Rising Empire. So just what's it called? So no, not
What?
sorry, wrong table. 8 is war.
8 is war.
All right, so select any settlement not owned by you. Who are you going to war with? Could be the bandits. Could be another player.
Let's see. Who do I want to harm?
Your
You
empire
also-
has gone to war. Do you want to go to war against all these bandits?
How about I'm gonna try and get rid of that that bandit right there. How about that?
Which
Which one?
ones? Which ones?
That's a lot. That's a good question. The one that's right next to my capital.
The purple ones.
Yeah, roll a d6. I have the table pulled up right here. That's a failed attack. They maintain control, but it is not a devastating loss, so that's good.
So your people tried to fight off the bandits but failed.
Cool.
Damn it.
Raza.
Still bandit infested over there.
The bandits do not want to leave.
No.
Raza, round 2.
Yes. Let me. I don't have it copied anymore. No. 3d6, right?
3d6.
3D.
15.
15 is a disaster, famine. Something had
One of your settlements exploded.
one of your settlements is now a ruin.
How many settlements do you have left? You only have the one?
I think so. I've already had that before, right? Ruin one of my settlements? Yeah. Yeah, I just have the one left. Actually.
Alright, well, if through the luck of your dice rolls your empire has fallen, you have 2 options. One, basically pick one of these minor factions. That's your new empire.
One second. Let me check if that actually exploded. No, I think I have the military fort in the west, actually.
Oh, so do you want to say your military fort fell then?
Yes.
Alright, so the military fort is now a ruin.
So you still have your hive?
Yeah. I think I do. I don't remember recalling to.
Or do you want to, if you think it's more fun for the story saying the hive fell from like bandit attacks, you can say that. And then your people have abandoned that and moved somewhere else.
The horseshoe crab isle. Well,
hey man, if you
no,
want to say that like horrible things befell your homeland and y'all moved to Horseshoe Isle, that's totally fine.
No, I'm going with not yet.
Not
maybe.
yet.
The
western fort fell to, and what caused it to fall? Was it an attack, famine, drought?
Let's go with earthquake.
There was an earthquake and it fell.
Yes.
All right, so we are on round 3 right now. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so
Kais and second turn, right? No.
What do you mean, Kais and?
Kais and Fred haven't had a second turn, I think.
No, they did.
We did.
All right,
First turn I rolled. Second turn, Fred rolled. So now it's our third turn.
Yeah, so now it's your turn. So one of you guys roll 3d6.
Okay.
Prosperity. Like,
Again,
everything's exploding around you guys, but you're going great. Your cities continue to grow, add more farmland, ships in port. You guys are making
more farming.
bank.
Nice.
As in the corner, nothing bad is happening.
As of yet.
As of yet. But right now, you have enjoyed 20 years of peace and prosperity.
Yeah,
Yes.
even both nearby.
Yeah, we're both just chill now. We're not mad at each other.
Do
Yet.
you want to
With
say the
that
Civil
said,
War has
we have,
ended, or
the civil war between the half dwarves, yes, but we have an island of demons to worry about.
Yeah.
there you go? So you guys aren't hostile to each other anymore, but you
Yep.
guys aren't allies either.
Yeah,
And,
we're
Alright.
and we do have this this little squad of this like pirate army that's growing as well.
Hey,
Nice.
you're focusing on that instead of killing each other. Tarek, 3d6.
Exactly.
Alrighty, I get a 9, which is disaster.
New faction.
Oh, no.
Nope, 9 is new faction.
Wait, am I? No. Oh, I was on the rise and fall table. New faction.
So some of your people have set out on their own. So anywhere on the map, new settlement of Dugars, and they are independent from you.
Alrighty, so let's see. Where would the Durgar like to go? Some of them are in Port Centurion. Some of them are in the Cold Iron Palace. You know what? Some of them probably were like, I've been doing a lot of almost near conquest. Maybe it's a good idea we go settle somewhere not murderous. So I think I'm gonna roll a d6 privately for my settlement type. That is going to be a resource town.
And what resource have the Dugar decided to exploit?
They have probably heard about floating acorns, probably. So we are going to have a nice little. We are going to make it a nice. We're going to make it a white circle right here. It is coming up. Never mind. Let's go see if this works. It is not working. Why is it not working? I don't know what's going on.
What's the
Oh,
issue?
probably the layers. The layers.
Hold on.
Yeah,
You're
which
drawing under his layer.
which layer are you, Tarek?
I am layer 2.
You are layer 2. All right. Boop.
Yeah, he's like all the way at the bottom.
Oh,
So.
hold on. Let me erase some of those because those were all over the place. Yeah, we have a white circle over here, and that is a new faction of Durgar. They are.
Where have you settled?
They are settled on a white circle in the exploding acorn savanna.
All right, so on Euston's Isle?
Yep, they decided to go explore peacefully and made a nice little resource town that focuses on collecting these exploding acorns.
All right, can you use a different color other than white? Because that's hard to see.
Yeah, hold on.
You used a bit
I'm going to go
light for the sand.
purplish red.
All right. Then it is my go.
I'm going to call them...
So these are separate from your empire. They have left on their own.
They are a different faction. And you have it again.
Speaking of different factions, all right, we got a lot of people leaving. Where would we like to go? Where would we like to leave? Honestly,
People don't like being pirates. Clearly.
apparently not. I wanna do. Fred, tell me about the map she. Tell me about that island down there.
It's called the Marsh, but
The
it's
Marsh.
like it's like it's just a bunch of like kind of people who travel through boats, are really good carpenters. It's because the trees are really nice, everyone's fine except for like kind of like east. There's like humans and shit, like Indians in a way.
It sounds like our kind of place. Howdy there. We're the free shipbuilders.
All right.
We have come here to settle.
Right? Just don't fucking don't burn the place down. A lot of trees around, you know.
Alright, on Mud Isle. And they are an independent faction of humans, and they like building ships.
All right.
Ah! Why are there monkeys after my Durgar? Oh no!
Use Jin.
Oh,
We're on round 3
beautiful.
of Age O Empires. Round 3 or round 4? I don't remember.
This is round 3.
Round 3, okay.
Oh, he had people leave too.
Yeah, another nuke minor faction.
God damn it!
Where have the elves
Everyone's leaving.
gone?
Let's see.
So they have decided to leave Bandit Hell, and where have they decided to resettle? Separate from your empire.
That's a wait. Does it have to be on this island?
Anywhere on the world.
Cool. This place looks pretty cool. They like crab meat.
Alright, you want to put them over next to the hive?
Hell yeah.
Alright.
Where are you putting them?
Roll a settlement, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so D6, and your settlement type will be. You have a trade post market hub there.
Oh, cool.
Which makes sense. They might be hunting some of the local crabs.
Are they hunting, or they're trading with the local crabs? Are they hunting the
wait.
local crabs?
What if
Both.
you guys are
A little
Is
bit
that
of
two
both.
different things?
Could be both.
You guys are cannibals, right?
Yeah, we are cannibals.
So they can do both at the same time.
Hunting and trading.
Yes.
Alright, so put your settlement somewhere over there.
Yeah, but yeah, I finally named my faction. The Grasshammer Durgar are the ones that left.
Alright, so we got Yusjin, and now we're at Raza.
Alright.
So 3d6.
So what is your... No!
More another minor faction. Dang. Alright.
Where are
Man,
these?
a lot of lore on that island.
I think 9 is the most common thing to roll.
Yeah, that's the point. Alright, so where have the crab people gone?
The crab people
They have broken
gone.
away, and they have decided to settle somewhere else.
What is a free on the 1d6 roll?
I'm checking. That is a resource town.
They have decided to exploit a resource somewhere else in the world.
Alright. What resources do you have, Kevin?
Me? I've got some. Well, I got a bunch of I got some rocks that can create floating citadels. One of which has been hijacked by bandits. I have a savannah where no one can die, and I have mountains full of adamantine and demons.
Where's those adamantine mountains? I'm interested in that.
The far right corner of our mountain range.
So I'm gonna go to the southeastern tip, I think, like the bend over there.
Yeah, that's a large jungle full of bandits next to trade port.
No, I'm going more east. Like, I'm east. Just before it bends.
Alright.
That's still the adamantine. Oh no, that's just jungle still, right? Shit.
Point out where you're pointing to?
I'm pointing right there.
Oh yeah, that's a sheer cliff right there.
Oh, these are big cliffs?
Yeah, I was
Like this
imagining the mountain ranges is basically like a Cliffs of Dover thing.
Oh.
Or you want to say
That's
there's like an inlet there, you could totally settle at an inlet. Like a
Yeah,
Hong Kong style thing.
I want to settle there, but then I'm just in the forest. Well, I'm just in the forest. Fuck it. Well, I was a resource gathering thing now.
Maybe you're just here to mine the iron in our mountains.
Yes, let's go with that. I'm gonna pick green for that.
Alright, and these are independent settlers. These have nothing to do with the Crab Kingdom.
I mean, yeah, crabs.
Well, they are crabs, but they are not related to your main empire.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
What's their name?
Shit. I need another crab pun.
You want to name them shit?
No, I need another crap pun. I mean, let's call them the Red
crappies?
Lobster Tribe. Let's go.
Alright.
She business.
The what?
The Red Lobster Tribe.
The Red
Oh my-
Lobster Tribe. All right. All right, so that is round 3. We're now at round 4. Caius and Fred. After 20 years
roll.
of peace, what has happened?
10 more years. Of...
15.
15 is
15 is a horrible disaster that has struck your empire.
natural disaster, or magical famine or disease.
So after
Yep.
20 years of peace, what the hell happened?
One of your settlements is now in ruin.
Alright, the fort
The
is gotta be
the demon isle blows up.
The entire
but-
island exploded?
No, the
You
fort is
lose
just like
one of your islands.
Hey man, that
Like-
sounds like an interesting story.
this. Alright, let me see. This part right here, just like fucking falls into the ocean right here. Just fucking this part right here. See where land is?
Yeah, so that part of the
Well, that-
island is no more.
Just water at that point.
It is just water. Alrighty. You feel free to go ahead and erase that part of the island then.
Or you could cover it in blue and make sure that we know that it's ruins there now.
Yeah, you also
Yeah,
say it's like
do that.
you can also cover it in black and say that's all ruins.
Yeah, it's now underwater ruins.
You can also
Like a mix between blue and mix a little blue in there now.
Kevin, one question. What's your island called?
What is the island called? The main island is called. I don't remember what I called it. The shield wall is the left range, and the main island is called Skugog.
Can I get a spelling on that?
Yes, because it was a lake near where my dad lived. Scugog.
Skugog.
Skugog Isle.
Skugog. No, thank you. Back to the show.
Alright, so that part of the Demon Island has now just washed into the sea. Again, make sure you don't make it too easy for the good guys, because ideally we want to be running a campaign in this world, which requires bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
We got to figure out what just happened.
Alright, so that just happened.
Oh no!
Interesting.
Oh no! The poor soft hammers.
Alright, Tarek, I
My
believe
turn.
it's your turn.
Yep. Oh boy. Select all.
Roll me
Let's see.
3d6.
13 is
Trade!
right.
So,
Build a road connecting your empire to another faction, then add a trade post somewhere along the road.
alright, so who has your empire decided to not necessarily ally with, but are now trading with? Either someone on your island or someone on another island.
Hold on, let me grab my mouse. Let's see. I have Port Centurion. Maybe they've begun from the port there. Maybe they've begun trying to start trade with the crab people via ocean trade routes.
Alright, so draw me some coastal trade routes.
Yeah, and let me also make a circle that is a nice bright green.
One thing, I don't have any coastal cities anymore, which might be a problem.
Well, it can come down the river, can't it?
True. So I will actually make my coastal city right.
Yeah, you can.
I will
think.
put one right by the river.
Oh,
There's a resource center right at the end of your river, so that they can make trade with you.
nice.
And you're welcome
And-
to connect that to your main settlement with like a dotted line if you'd like.
Yeah, do
I
you want
will-
to do that?
Second. A dark blue dotted line that will go from Port Centurion over the waves to the new settlement.
Which is
Nice. That's a
called.
new settlement, right? From your
Uh,
faction?
Yeah, from my Port Centurion, which I also have to make a road from. We will make this road from Port Centurion go there. Also,
Alright, so you
this.
are trading with the crabs.
And we will call that Coconut Harbor.
Coconut Harbor. Interesting.
I mean, this is not what the coconuts are, but I'll take it. You just misnamed it.
What is that area?
Well, you know, it's in the river delta, and it's forest south and like plains east.
And what
Uh,
resources do the crabs have that you're trading with?
The crabs have gold.
I declare war on the dwarves again for some fucking gold.
We will call it the Golden Bay then.
I rolled war again. I guess I'm the
Are you
villains.
going at war with the dwarves again?
I want that fucking gold trade port.
So you're going roll a d6.
Yup.
Please don't roll a 2.
I did not expect to be the warmongers here.
Or you take control of it.
My trade port.
Yep, you now have control over the Golden Bay.
Golden Bay. All right, I'm taking that.
Nice. There's some lore coming through.
Indeed, war worked out. All right, so I will make that in my notes. War with the damn dwarf.
You should haven't zoomed in that far. I can't see it.
So let me erase my blue lines then, because I have no control over that now.
Yeah, apparently we just really don't fucking like you, Dugar fellows. I'm sorry, I did not expect to be the warmonger, but that's, dice for you.
Yeah, neither was I. Meanwhile, I also made a settlement, which kind of is blocking you from also coming after me.
I know this is an interesting dynamic. All right, so we stole the gold port. Usjin, 3d6.
Oh, me already.
Age of Empires.
Oh no, I need
10. 10 is military expansion. So your military strength is growing. So you either get a new fort, or you can add city walls to an existing settlement. Basically meaning the walls will crumble instead of the city getting destroyed if you get the city destroyed event.
Let's see. I want to continue colonizing Raza. You can call me the British.
Yeah, we're all seeing like the crab empire like completely crumbling. And we're like, yeah, let's just grab all that. That sounds awesome.
It is dwindling. That's for sure. But I might be one of the richest with the gold. So.
Well, that's why we're trading with you forcefully.
I made a port to come help them out as well.
All right, so Usjin, put your elf fort somewhere.
That is a work in progress.
And you're welcome to name it something.
Gugulungu.
And you're definitely not here for trade. This is military expansion. So are you going like full imperialist colonization here, or?
Friendly militarization.
Friendly militarization. It's like, we are here to help you with your bandits. Please do not resist.
Congratulations, you are being saved. Please do not resist.
All right, so we are colonizing the crabs. Cool, good to know.
Same thing,
all right,
different ways.
No.
9. All right, what does a 9 get you?
Isn't that
settlers leave? The crabs don't like.
I just rolled it twice in a row.
All right, you can re-roll it. Yeah, there's always you can re-roll whatever you don't like.
I mean, I just did that. I don't really want it again.
Roll it again, then.
They could come to
No.
You sure you want to re-roll it?
Yes.
Yeah. 8. War! The crabs have declared war. On whom? Who of their colonized they like to throw off?
The dwarves were friendly. The elves are hostile. The human pirates are hostile. So it's those tiger monkeys look way too scary. I'm gonna go against Kevin.
All right, you have declared war on me. Roll me d6.
Wise choice.
If you're talking about the tiger monkeys, isn't that a constitution?
Yes, they're on my island. If you look.
Yeah, so you're going versus Yushin, not Kevin.
No,
And
I'm going as Kevin. I'm
yeah,
afraid of the monkeys.
yeah,
Successful assault. I'm out. I'm off the island.
yeah,
So do I take that settlement now?
Yup. You
yeah.
now have the goal. You now have the trade port.
You now have the
Nice.
Golden Bay trade port. Nice.
I have a trade port again now. Good.
Yeah.
You have the trade port that people built to trade with you, and you're like, no, I don't want to trade anymore.
I lost my other trade port to pirates.
That's funny, bro.
Yeah. So you have a settlement called Golden Bay. And
Alright, let me write that in the annals.
Yeah, I am.
natives of Crabland.
Crab people.
What is your faction called again, Kevin?
Oh, we are Red Flag. We are the Red Flag. We have a red flag.
Wow.
No, no kidding.
And red flag.
Hey man, it was the first thing I came up with. Yeah, I'm writing down the history of my world. All right, so that was round 4. Yeah.
Yeah, this is round 5.
Round 5, Caius and Fred. Roll for
Kais,
events.
did you roll last time or no?
Caius rolled last time.
All right, I want to roll next. It's
What
11.
was the coastal city called again?
Expand.
The Golden Bay.
The Golden
is
Bay.
what-
Expand.
And 11
Expand.
is-
All right. So your prosperity upon seeing the demonic island crumble into the sea, your empire has decided to expand. To where?
I'm going to Team Nile, but in like the marshland.
So
Are
you're
you sure you,
on the same island?
or do you want to go somewhere else? Because there's
Actually, no, actually, yeah, I want to fucking go somewhere else. Tarek, which one's the island?
He's
Uh,
bottom
I'm
left.
way
Okay,
So closest
Ooh.
islands is Demon Land, former Civil War, and Bandit Land with Yusjin.
as well as dragons.
Yeah, Dragon Isle, that's nearby.
Dragon. I'm gonna go to Dragon. Actually, no, I'm gonna go by the pirates. Actually,
All right, which pirates?
which I can't tell which one where the pirates are.
We got lots of pirates on this map.
I love that the grass hammers have little tiger monkeys around them, though.
Okay, I'm gonna go by the ones by Houston and stuff.
All right, so you're
Alright.
settling on Euston's Isle? What type of a
Yeah.
settlement is this?
Let me
Roll.
roll. Okay, let me roll real quick.
Am I getting new friends to militarize?
Possibly.
Yeah. 6,
Or
you
should I
get.
say?
I love how do you copy paste usually?
Oh, you have to select using the select tool, copy, and then paste.
That is
Okay.
I'm
Wait, it's
honestly
1d.
trying to do
it's
that,
one-
but I can't figure it out.
It's 1d6 for settlements, right?
Yep.
1d6 for settlements.
You got.
Three.
So you have a new resource.
Resource- All right.
So which of Euston's resources do you want to be exploiting?
Well, what does Yushin have? Like,
We got that funny little magic water in the middle of the sea, but that's kind of under control by a wizard. We got them exploding acorns, but there's a lot of monkeys. Tiger monkeys? Same thing.
Yeah, and
We,
Or you
hey, the
Yes,
Dirk
no,
are.
please. Applies points.
all right, you say let me draw this up.
competing against the Durga.
all
I
right? So
want those acorns.
all right, so you're putting your settlement down there with the acorns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 2 settlements going after the acorns.
All right, I believe it's Tarek's turn now for round 5.
Yep. I get an 11, which is expand.
Yep. So where
So-
would your dwarves like to expand to? Or
Okay.
roll what type of settlement you're getting.
Yeah, I'm going to do that real fast. /RD6. That is a 2, which is, I believe that's a mining town, if I'm right.
Where do you want to
Let me check.
mine, dwarves?
Yeah, it's a mining settlement. So, let's see. Who has good mining resources?
I have
let-
gold and that's it.
Technically,
crystals.
I have a, and I have, yeah, we have the crystals and a replenishing vein of iron.
Okay, where are those on your island?
Those are on Horseshoe Isle, I believe.
They're like the teal.
The teal dots?
Yeah, the teal squares.
Well, hope you don't mind. Some of the Durgar are gonna go as far as to learn about this new resource for smithing. So let's go and make a.
Go on
Nice.
Demon Isle.
There's like a pirate kingdom here too. That's
And there's crabs.
And crab.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
crab.
The crab cult.
Yes.
Let's go for a yellow circle right there. That is a new resource, and let me put nice blue new dots, because whoo boy. I am going to have to zoom out and spacebar and make lots and lots. Oh, hold on. Wrong tool. Lots and lots of little blue dots to say, hey, guess what? We are. Boop, doot, 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 doot. And this is going all the way from over in Port Centurion, which has become the center base. And I'm going to mark what this is. That roll had been a 11 again. Jeez, how many 11? That would have been my third 11 this time.
All right. I got a very interesting proposal for you, Tarek. I rolled
Right.
Crazy Cult, and I noticed we have like a bit of a Cold War thing going on because we've been at war a whole bunch of times. So what if we took this evil mermaid band we have between the two of us, and my people started doing some weird magic to them mermaids, ostentatiously to create a weapon to go against you guys, but in fact they turned into a crazy demon cult and are now fucking up both of us.
So how Sahuagin, basically?
I basically created Sahagin, yeah.
I have no complaints. Honestly, given I have a military fort right there, that was purely out of self-defense.
Yeah, so I created Sahagin specifically to attack you, but now it's backfired.
Oh boy, meaning you now have sharks and shark people coming after everyone. Oh no.
Became demon cult. And now it's just fucking over both of our forts. Alright, that was my turn. Now we're on Yusjin turn.
Please no conquer. Help.
War.
Who would you like to declare war on?
No, it's not war, I think.
Oh. Alright, what did you roll? 6. Hero. Alright. A powerful elven hero showed up. What did they do?
You draw
does it have to be elven?
Or another race.
Very nice. Oopsie.
From your
I just saw that pop up.
So again, this is a creative exercise for you. So a legendary hero showed up, and a D&D campaign happened. What the hell did they do? Anything from they invented a new type of smithy to they completely destroyed an island. You tell me.
Very nice. I like this. I like this little exercise.
Maybe they created a new landmass. I don't know. Adventurers are weird.
I'm gonna get back to you on my next turn, but right now I'm going to
think about it.
Yes.
All right, Raza, 3d6.
Not a 9. $15.
Disaster! Another disaster! Settlement explodes.
Does it have to be one of mine?
Has to be one of yours.
However, did you win the war against Yushin? I mean, yeah, you did. So you can so you still have your hive. You just lose the Golden Bay to ruin.
Golden Bay went to ruin. Yeah, like we don't need this trading settlement anyway. You burned it down yourself.
Now I need to find a reason for it. Why did they leave the Golden Bay? I just took it.
Well, it was founded to trade with you, and you're like, well, no one's here to trade anymore, so fuck it.
No one's trading anymore.
I don't want to trade.
Nobody's trading anymore in Golden.
Well,
Bay.
again, this is us creating a history, so now we have a whole bunch of very xenophobic crab people.
True.
New race to play as, yay!
New race ready for playtesting.
Xenophobic crabs.
Yeah, apparently.
Alright, we are
I
at
don't-
round 6 now, yeah?
Yes, actually.
Alright, Caius
mean-
and Fred.
There's technically still a city there, which is just abandoned, right? Yeah.
I'll
Is
take
it
this
abandoned?
one.
Was it a ruin?
It's abandoned. Well, it's fell into ruin. I wrote down.
There you go. People don't want to live there anymore. Alright, Caius and Fred. No, 3d6.
A
14. Cult.
Right? Cult.
Oh my god.
What is with all the cults, you guys?
I don't know. It's the crystals, man.
It is the crystals. All right, so we can pick anywhere to.
Anywhere.
I say we start. I say the demons go to the dragons and see if they can.
So the demon
Start
cult
on.
has expanded to the dragons?
Yeah, to the dragons. We're gonna see if we can.
A new demonic cult.
Bruce,
Is it a new demonic cult or is it the same demonic cult?
the same demonic cult. Just
Alright, so they've expanded to Dragonland.
That's the Black Island, right?
Yep.
Kevin.
Yeah.
The layers are fucked up. I can't. Oh, do you want to delete your dots? I'll add my own. No. You fixed it. You fixed it. It's fine.
I just changed the layers.
Yeah. I literally have like 4 destroyed settlements. Not very successful.
I imagine that the mosquitoes are part of the reason that they keep getting destroyed.
It's mostly disasters, really, but yeah, the mosquitoes have something to do with it for sure.
They're
Yeah.
sucking the gold dry.
Alright, so you got your demon settlements? Tarek.
Yeah, I'm just drawing it up now.
Oh, right, me. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's see. My next one is a 10 on the results, which is military expansion. I'm gonna double check that this is what I think it is.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's forts or walls. You got a new
I'm
Sahuagin problem up with me.
Let's see. With that new Sahuagin issue, it might not be a bad idea to fortify the Cold Iron Palace.
You want just to turn that one fort into a massive fucking fort?
Yeah. I'm gonna put in a nice.
Especially me
some-
and the dwarves are having a dick measuring contest for how big our forts can be at. I am surprisingly okay with this.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of yellow in there, and now
forts are pretty cool.
yeah. So I have fortified the Cold Iron Palace with extra walls and defenses.
Maybe you put like a little bit of a gold minaret off there because we did fight a war over gold. Up to you if you're still salty about that. Tarek?
To line it. They probably still are.
Okay, just making sure we still hate each other.
Yeah, they're dwarves. They don't give up easily.
Well, I'm actually having quite a bit of prosperity myself, so me settlements are getting bigger. 10 years of good luck.
Despite the whole shark cult.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's more your problem than mine.
Yeah, right now. Good thing I fortified that base.
There you go.
It's nobody's problem.
Yusjin, second last problem.
Now, this is my story. So for that last thing, the statue, there's this guy, right? I don't care who he was, but he was an elf. He accidentally cast Awaken on one of those tiger monkeys, right? And then so him, the monkey, and like a bunch of other guys from each island got together and defeated that one wizard in that evil tower and whatever.
Oh shit! All right, so the wizard defeated forever. Or has he just become dormant?
Dormant for now, because I like
Four.
the
Good enough.
All right, so do you want to put a statue of him somewhere?
power. It is right next to the capital.
There we go. And 3d6.
Oh, that's me, right?
Yeah, it's also your next turn, unless you're done with the events.
Let's see. What's it?
Disaster.
Oh no! The wizard must.
Statue goes down.
The wizard.
The wizard's back.
He just
Yeah.
immediately came back.
Sorry to interrupt. Is there any way we
Wait,
could
back.
delete the big blue thread in our section of the map? I can't erase it.
Delete the. Yeah, you guys have to. Fred, you have to delete that yourself. You can only erase your own layer.
Makes sense.
Let me just erase that real quick. Sorry about that.
All right, so does this mean this guy's a lich, Yusjin, or?
Mad Necromancer is very vague. So potentially.
And which settlement did he destroy?
That's a good question. How about?
You don't have many left, do you?
Yeah, they're all kind of exploded.
Well, you could say he blew up one of the bandits and turned them into his new servants.
This is
Well, he is a necromancer. That would make sense.
Yeah, it actually does. It's scarily accurate.
So how about these nerds in the like right under the monkey tigers in the desert? The red ones.
okay.
They're now all skeletons.
Wait, so if it's like a band of dead pirates, would it be a living head?
Hey, man, it's your settlement.
But like in theory.
I have no idea. I'm scared.
You tell me.
Well,
Yes.
bandits aren't really a settlement, are they? But whatever.
So the hero tried to destroy the necromancer, and everyone thought he was fine. But then 10 years later, he's like, "I'm undead, bitches."
Yeah, see ya.
And now you have a skeleton crew coming after you all. Yay!
We have skeletal bandits.
Plot.
Raza, second to last roll on Age of Empires.
A
6.
Hero.
Hero.
Oh,
We got a heroic crab. You want to give that some time to think about?
yeah, I need some time to think about it.
All right, Caius and Fred, last roll for Age of Empires.
All right, let me roll. I want to see what.
Alrighty, let's see this. The last roll for them is war.
Who have you declared war on?
On the pirates, like on Caius's like main island.
So the Civil War started up again?
No, it's still the pirates.
Oh, you're declaring war on the pirates?
Yeah.
Because the pirate kingdom that was growing there was also growing off our prosperity.
All right, roll
Exactly.
d6.
Yeah.
See how the war went.
A 5. Great victory. Easily overpowers the defender, aka the bandits, and takes control of the settlement, then places a new fort nearby.
Yeah, I think that they like the shipbuilders that Heaven sent. Like,
Yep.
they just are a really good navy. To be honest.
Hell yeah, brother.
Plus, you have a bunch of Durgar blacksmiths on Horseshoe Isle.
So we took out those pirates.
Plus the acorns.
Exactly. Although, no, the acorns are not connected to my area. That is a completely different set of Durgar.
But like they shifted to like the.
Oh,
what's up?
happened?
Whoopsie.
Oh, that was weird.
Oh shit! All right, so let me drop.
Can someone save?
That's what they mean when the
I-
light flashes before your eyes.
I will save the drawing.
Yeah, because we're pretty far in. This is.
Yeah, we've been at this for about 3.5 hours.
Yeah, here is the current state of the map. We have one more phase to go through.
Yeah, and it's my roll next for the last round.
Yep, Tarek, roll your 3d6.
An 8. I got a war.
Who have you declared war on?
Oh, who would I have declared war on? You know what? I'm gonna go to war against What settlements do you have? No offense.
Me?
Yes.
Currently, main settlements include what's it called? The trade port directly opposite you. I have trade port on the other side. Hold on. Let me go remember what I have. Yeah, so not counting the free shipbuilders, we have Lake Ferry. We have a giant floating. We have the Shining City, which is floating above our canyon of anti-gravity rocks. We have the Old Citadel, which has been stolen by bandits. We have the Merfolk and the Sahuagin. And of course, all the way back, we have our main capital, which is Port Markham.
I'm not gonna go for the main capital. What? Question. What is the blue dot that's right here?
Those are the Angry Merfolk, which I have been morphing into Sahuagin.
And the blue dot right here?
That is the gate.
The gate.
It's a fort opposite your fort.
You know what? This is probably really petty of the Durgar, but they are probably still mad about you guys taking their port down. They're gonna go for the gate.
Oh my god, are we just endlessly gonna be at war?
No offense, like I said.
All right, I like the human dwarf. I like the humans hating the dwarves and back and forth. All right, roll. See how your war went.
A 1. Oh no.
One
Good.
devastating loss. We crushed your attack.
Roll. You roll versus
And make an immediate counterattack against your citadel. Dang. All right.
Yeah. Cold Iron Palace.
All right. So we attacked the Cold Iron Palace. And
5. Great victory.
my Cold Iron Palace. It says to place a new fort nearby, but I don't think that's necessary at the point, given we just stole a fort.
No, you get a new. It's not a fort. I think it's Oh yeah, it is a new fort.
All right. Well, if I do get a new fort, then so remember how we had that war over poison? Yeah, it's definitely mine now.
The Durgar didn't. The Durgar were just not happy about the whole Golden Bay situation, and especially since it got taken out of the picture entirely in the end.
Attack
they were
on
not
Cold Iron.
And they blamed the red flags.
Alright. Founded
a palace of iron and gold.
Indeed, we have taken Cold Iron Palace, and we have founded Fort... I'm tempted to call this Fort Fuck Dwarves. Because that seems like... Yeah, let's call it Fuck... What's it called? Not Fuck Dwarves. We're going to call it Fort... We're gonna
translate to
Fort
language and use that.
Fort Longshanks. I'm gonna steal something. I'm gonna call it Longshanks because that's the goblin word for tall people. No, Fort Longlegs. There we go. All right, and that was your go.
Yep, I marked down that I lost my fort to you.
Indeed. And let me go. Roll 3d6. 6. What is a 6? Hero. All right.
Probably relate to war.
Yeah, honestly, we just had a big war. So I'm going to say the only reason we were able to take down Cold Iron Palace was we had a glorious ship captain that just absolutely blockaded the entire fort, starved it out, and even though it was this super powerful fort, the hero was an instrumental part of the war. So
yeah,
hero.
So I lost the Cold Iron Palace and the Shadow Pools.
Indeed. So we had Admiral Atoms. Destroy was instrumental in taking the Cold Iron Fort.
Meanwhile, the Hotfoot Goblins are literally just sitting there being like, what the fuck? And just minding that.
Yeah,
I love it.
Well, we're killing each other. Use Gent last roll in Age of Empires.
Wait, wasn't that the last one?
Nope, this is the very last round of Age of Empires. So 11 is
new settlement.
Oh, cool.
One last settlement.
Where would you like to put it?
You got a monastery / temple, the very first one, I think.
I got a monastery as well, but where would the elves like to pray to their god? What gods do you have, by the way?
One nameless moon druid god.
Where would you like to put your druid temple, then?
Let's see. We're going to put it.
It could be anywhere in the world.
We're going to shove it. Where's your settlements, Tarek?
My settlements are all way on the bottom left. However, I have the grass hammers, which are a purple circle in the acorns. And then I have Port Centurion on the Coconut Island. And we have Ant. I named this place. We also have Anvil Docks up on Horseshoe Island.
So
In addition,
is the bulk of your stuff like around this here?
the bulk of my stuff is all on my own personal land. Yes.
Okay.
Perhaps
I
you
have
Wait,
sent.
this has been you this entire time?
I have two settlements on that main large island and 2 settlements on the small island, and then I have settlements across the rest of the world.
Wait, hold on. Who's the top middle?
Top
is
middle
Gothic.
was the dragons.
Oh, I thought that was Tarek this entire time.
No, Tarek's
I'm
bottom
way-
left.
Okay.
Yeah,
What I'm going to do, I'm gonna put a little church or whatever the heck, temple, whatever, and try to preach to the Durgars.
All right.
Okay, where would you like to put it?
Probably right around here somewhere.
So between the Shadow Pools and the Durgar lumber mill.
Sure.
So that's actually partly the defense mechanism for the Durgar. They probably would have no qualms against it.
Just putting a temple right in the middle of my warpath.
Oh, is that where your warpath?
It's like goddamn stupid druids.
Yeah, the hippies are gonna just try to save the trees.
Yeah. Like they, honestly, you'd probably end up making friends with the local catfolk as well, but building a place there because there's catfolk in the adamantine forests.
Oh, we love cats.
And there's gnolls, aka hyena people, in the southern savannah, along with lightning hawks.
All right, and Raza, final roll for Age of Empires.
Yeah, I need to do my hero story still.
All right, what was the heroic crab?
There was a heroic crab who was a druid, and he managed to tame the rhinos on the Western Isle, and at least some of them. So the elite warriors of the crab army now ride rhinos, and using these rhinos, they were able to not be enslaved by the tiger monkey people.
All right, so you have rhino cavalry now, thanks to a famed tamer.
Yeah, druid, a crab druid, apparently.
All right, you want to name this guy?
I named him Clickety Clack.
Clickety Clack. All right, and also last roll before we go into the Decline of Empires.
12.
12 on decline is prosperity. So
prosperity?
You fought. So after being enslaved, after multiple wars, right before things get hit, you actually have a few good years of nothing bad happening.
That's fine. But
10 years of prosperity. All right, so we have now done about 200 years of history. We are now into the rise and the fall. So it's 9:46, so we got 6 more turns for everybody. Does that sound reasonable?
It's only 8:46.
I don't know, man. I think I might have to go to bed soon.
You want to call it here? Because we could simply say this is our world right here. We don't need to do another phase.
We could also just, I mean, there's like so little left to do that we could just finish it, wrap it up next, earlier. Well, maybe next session we could all of us could come in an hour early and just wrap this up, and then the rest of us could get here afterwards.
Sounds good. Well, if we are going to be wrapping things up, I have a surprise for you guys.
Oh boy.
Dun dun dun.
So,
Good or bad?
as we've made a world together, I suppose it makes sense if we decide to finish that world. So I don't suppose any of you guys know what World Anvil is.
I do.
No,
This is a website for basically publishing a fictional world, and I was thinking we could basically detail everything we have so far on World Anvil.
I have a fuck ton of notes from this, so I could pretty
Oh my god, I forgot about notes.
I would
Did you not make any notes?
No, I started taking notes, but like halfway through, I think I forgot to start writing them down because I was really into drawing.
Once everything started happening, that's when I stopped taking notes. But I took notes for my section.
I'll have to go back and look or something.
I only
I
took
have-
notes starting my section, so it would be a lot of cross-referencing between everyone.
Indeed. So what this is, what's it called? What World Anvil is it's basically kind of like a wiki is probably the best way I could explain it. It's a way of like writing articles in said fictional world and like linking them together wiki style. And you can like make articles detailing settlements, detailing maps, detailing all that jazz. And because, well, I think we have plenty of people here willing to detail race history and like different parts of the world. So I was thinking if I make a World Anvil page, I'd be willing to appoint all of you guys as authors of that page. And hopefully, if people are interested in continuing this collaborative writing project, we might have, crazy campaign setting or book to publish one day.
I would love to. That sounds amazing.
Crazy campaign setting, I
Sounds
love.
interesting.
I have proposed this idea before. Like last time I made a custom campaign setting. This is basically what I did, which is I made something on World Anvil. The problem is that basically I ended up being the only person who actually wrote anything in it, and none of the players seemed interested in writing articles about towns or cities. But now that we've all come together and created the world, if you guys are interested in continuing this collaborative writing project, I am more than happy to make a World Anvil page for all of this and, write some wiki articles, and then we'll have a full campaign setting once everything's done.
To be completely honest, I've been like dying to do something like that. Do like a
I think it sounds fun.
100%. You can feed off each other's
Especially
ideas and stuff
considering
like that.
So I suppose the only thing to ask is, what's the world's name?
I was thinking that too. I think we'll think about it next time we meet up and finish like the last phase.
All right.
Yeah, I want to finish the last phase as well.
Yeah,
It looks
once we
kind of
flesh
fun.
it out a little. Yeah, once we flesh it out a little bit more.
All
I
right.
do actually really want to see how this ends up.
All right. So how long do you have, Yusjin?
But I mean, considering I have to wake up early tomorrow.
All right. So we want to call this here.
Yeah, if that's okay with everyone, and since it's like right between eras, it might not be a bad time.
Yep. No worries. So
know
we'll call this
exactly where we
here.
left off.
And I'll give all of you guys a poke next week before session. We'll finish up the last era of history, and once all that's done, we can come up with a name for this. I can invite you all to World Anvil, and we can write out a awesome history. Honestly, I might even make the World Anvil right now just so I can start making a map for all of this. But glad I got you all interested. So
What are you gonna do, Kevin?
You cut the entire last sentence.
I said what we're gonna do is, if you have to go right now, Yusjin, we'll call it here. Next Saturday, we'll finish up the world building, and then after session, I will make a World Anvil campaign and invite you all in as co-editors, assuming you guys are serious about this setting, because I am 100% serious about this. Is making this as a collaborative setting.
I'm down, and then we can build off what we have.
Exactly.
So
I've never
good.
been a huge writer, but like this genuinely sounds fun.
Exactly. So feel free to. So we have like about 200 years of history.
I procrastinate.
Indeed. So hope y'all are excited for this as well as I am. But for right now, I am probably going to go have to make dinner because God, I'm hungry.